Hello, it's me, Ariza Gaming, and we're back with some more Victoria 3. Hope you're doing well, Ayla Avo. I'm pretty pleased with how this game has started. We are playing as Brazil. We're going to do the magnanimous monarch stuff. We're currently waiting for Pedro to become an adult, but we've got some stuff we can get up to in the meantime, so let's have a look-see. We shall continue. This is the menu screen, by the way. I love this menu screen. The art, like the art stills that they do for the loading screens are so good in this game. I'm gonna endlessly glaze the art in this game. I'm hiccuping because I've had some Fanta already. Right, okay, so we have played for 3 years. We have restored Brazil's natural borders. We have actually set up a power block. So we have the Top Hat Empire, very well named. Not quite wearing a top hat, but we'll work on that. And we're going to be a sovereign empire. So what this is going to let us do, and we did a little bit of research on this, this is going to let us subjugate power block members. We'll invite people into our power block, and we'll be able to turn them into vassals without fighting them. So we've had a lot of war at the start of the game, just because we literally start the game at war as Brazil. But the reality is, apart from getting some sulfur from Peru, we actually have a little bit of everything we need to set up a perfectly good empire already on our doorstep. So I think what we'll do, instead of declaring war or taking a load of territory, taking a load of infamy, having a load of turmoil, is we'll just set up subjects that will help us prosper. And then collectively, we will all be stronger than the whole if I just took over the whole of the country. But, or the whole of the continent. But we'll see how it goes, because I haven't done power block stuff before. We're also... I'm going to unpause it for a minute. We're also working to halt the slave trade. So we're actually trying to do legacy slavery at the moment, because we're currently on the slave trade. That will halve the penalties from the landowner power distribution and whatnot, and to our influence. And that's very important, because we're spending a lot of our influence on actually running the Top Hat Empire and setting up these embassies. So we've set up some embassies in these different countries because we're trying to get leverage with these different countries so they'll actually join our power blocks. And we've actually got something good going on. We've got migration attraction from the landowners, they're happy, and the Catholic Church is now powerful, so they're actually giving us the 5% birth rate we were looking for. So our population should start increasing a fair bit. It's already increased a little bit from us reclaiming our territory, but it should increase even more. Currently, we're just building some furniture manufactories. People want clothes. Wood is somewhat cheap, so I think we'll do that, and then we'll build some more lumber camps again. We're in debt, but that's fine. We're going to grow our economy fast enough. We should easily outstrip the debt at this rate. Because we're a great power, we get very cheap interest. Seems dubious to join a sovereign empire. Yeah, but they get benefits too. It's not just me. But let's have a look at the power block. Let's actually have a look at diplomacy. So if I go diplomatic lens, diplomatic actions, I can invite people to power blocks. I can invite people to the power block, and it shows the balance here. So these countries where it has a 0, I believe they're not eligible. And then, no, that would be the cohesion impact. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. Let's have a look at leverage. Leverage advantage by power block on another country. So we don't have any leverage with anyone yet. What if we have a look on a country-by-country basis? What if we look at, I don't know, Peru? What does it say about Peru? So, Peru, we have a 905 disadvantage. So the 952 unclaimed leverage of Peru currently exceeds the leverage from all power blocks. So we've got some leverage over Peru, and that's increasing. But they do start with 1,000, so we've got to gradually accumulate leverage. And we can do this by setting up treaties and just generally being nice and setting up trade deals. So that's probably a lot of what we're going to do. So we can start thinking about this. And again, we can subjugate the people that we're going to add to our power block. So let's have a think about this. Uruguay is an insignificant power. I realize what this means is, if we add them to our power block, it doesn't actually help us. So, I don't know, maybe we eat them? Possibly. Chile, we also want in the power block. Who else have we invited? Venezuela, right? Yeah, let's start setting up some deals with these guys. We could set up a defensive pact. We could set up an alliance. The main issue is these things cost influence. A lot of these trade deals cost influence. So we're going to have to accumulate more of this somehow. And this is another reason why we want to get rid of the slave trade, because it's giving us a big penalty to influence. I think we're also going to bite the bullet and not actually improve relations with Great Britain anymore. A, because we have the anti-British League. So we want the landowners to be happier by not appeasing Britain. And B, we just need the actual influence to do power block stuff. So we know we're not going to go after Venezuela. So let's actually draft a treaty. Let's do it. We can do an alliance. That seems good. And then they want this. We could probably ask for some stuff off of them as well. Do I want one of their states? Would they accept that? I was thinking about Zulia. I don't think they would do this though. That would be a bit mean if you could just ask for a state. Maybe we just do this. They like the idea of that. We can cancel this later, but we weren't planning on we weren't planning on immediately doing any war with these guys anyway, so let's just do it. Let's get more leverage and let's actually grow our power block, because I haven't done that before. But let's actually unpause the game as well. There we go. So we formed a treaty. This will last for 5 years, and after that point, they can cancel it, or it will just keep going if they feel like leaving it open. So that would be good. What about Ecuador? Did we do anything with Ecuador? They don't want an alliance because... Oh. We have to research a tech to get more than one alliance. That's fine. I think Venezuela was the main one we wanted. We could... Well... do we want to guarantee Ecuador's independence? Probably, because we want plenty of subjects. I think so long as they're not an insignificant power, we want them in our power block. If they're an insignificant power, then maybe we're not that fussed. Maybe we just go after Uruguay or something. We've actually got a truce with Peru at the moment, so we're going to have to wait before we do anything with them, regardless of power block shenanigans. But let's actually just go ahead and guarantee their independence. You like that. I'll ask for an obligation. Oh, you don't want that. Okay, you won't give me an obligation. You could ask people for favors and cash favors in at different points. So we could do that. Yeah, we'll do this, I think. So Ecuadorian modifiers plus 300 leverage generation from treaty. When the dominant country in a treaty is a power block leader. Yes, that's what we want. Yeah, let's just do it. We'll see how it goes. We'll probably actually prioritize the tech that gives us more influence at this point, which I don't normally do, but it seems like a good idea. And we also want to make sure that we keep our bureaucracy up so we don't get a penalty to our influence. I think that's how it works. No, we get the tax waste from this. There's definitely something where we get less influence. But yes, we're building our furniture factories. Let's see. Once we've got some in a couple of states, we'll set one of them up to luxury furniture production. Then we can start using some of our hardwood, which we're currently making in the rainforest, but we're not using. So that would probably be a good idea. But look, our artist groups are happy. They're getting powerful. We're keeping the landowners happy as well, but reducing their power. This is good for us. Let's have a look here again. So I think what I want to see is leverage advantage, because if we see 0 here, that basically just means we're not involved. So it looks like the British Empire has a lot of leverage over Uruguay. That's interesting. And then if we go to Venezuela, it both shows you what the current leverage is and what the target leverage is. So because we have an alliance with Venezuela, our leverage is going to increase by quite a lot, and this will be enough of a leverage share to get them in our power block. So I think we just need to keep an eye on these. and keep doing more deals. Is there something non-binding we can do with Peru, etc.? You don't really want trade privileges. You don't really want transit rights. I mean, you do generally want to accept deals. So this seems good. Yeah, they like our diplomatic stance. We can do trade privileges with them. If we give them military assistance, this gives them a big buff to their military. But the issue is, it actually... Or it gives them a buff to, like, training and whatnot. But it costs us extra money. So we probably don't want to do that immediately. Let's just do trade privileges for now. That seems good. And then Chile as well is one we're interested in. Let's do trade privileges with Chile as well. Seems good. So this means it'll be easier for us to exchange goods between our trade centers. We do import and export, so that's good. We're not really exporting anything they're probably going to want at the moment. We do actually make some tea. So the funny thing is, there's not a lot of tea in South America, but not this one. This state, and this state, and this state. Oh, and Rio. Okay, so this area down here actually produces tea. I believe it's the only bit in South America that produces tea. So we can export tea to these countries, and they'll like that. Because people drink tea. We could also... We've still got some influence left. We could do trade assistant... trade... Oh, we've got an alliance with these guys, so we've already got trade privileges? Or something? Can only offer this article once across all treaties with this country. Okay, maybe that's because we have an alliance. Well, we'll leave that alone then. What about Ecuador? Yeah, we'll do that as well. Will you actually agree to that? You will agree to that. Good. Okay, this should get us a fair bit of leverage generation, so we can keep an eye on that. Got lots of treaties down here now. Let's hide that window. Legacy slavery is still going away, or still progressing. The industry buildings take a while to build. They cost more construction than a lot of the resource buildings. But once they're built, they'll give us some high-value jobs. So that'll be nice. Is there anything else that's interesting at the moment? Military shipyards. We're not really doing anything with our military shipyards. I don't think... We just don't have a big enough navy for this. That's fine. It's better to have at least some domestic production, even if it's not very productive. Did I want to switch to butchering tools for everything? I think I did. Yeah. Let's do that. Just keep it simple. Keep everything building at the same production method if we can. And then we can start thinking about these bits as well. Now, I could import some glass. That is something I could do. We could import some coal. You know what? Let's actually... So, if we did gas lights for everywhere, that would be... I mean, services are fairly in demand. That'd be 22 coal. So, if we set up like a single coal mine, we could do gas lighting for all of these guys across the whole country. So, that seems worthwhile. We only actually have 3 states that have coal. So, maybe prioritizing coal is important as well. This is a fairly decent amount of coal. Let's see. Let's go for Rio Grande do Sul. That will do. We'll put that on the queue as well. And then when that's done, we'll switch over to gas streetlights. We got the shortage here, but that'll go up again because we're going to start actually producing them again. This is what happens a lot with these buildings is... We go back in here. If they're not productive, then the employment will fall off, and then they'll get productive again, and then they'll hire again. So this should end up correcting itself. Looks like we're building another trade center. So this is interesting. So this suggests that our private industry, our private investors want us to do more trade, which makes sense because we've set up trade privileges with all these countries now. We got language in the classroom. Ibibio students sometimes use their native language in Brazilian schools. Some have called for teachers to penalize the use of these languages, forcing children to speak the official language of Brazil. Let's see how large the Ibibio population is. That's actually not the one I'm looking for, it's society. So down here, it looks like we have 4,000 people of this culture. So again, that's like less than 0.1% of our country. So... So the thing is, this will make them radical, which doesn't matter, because that's literally 400 people. It'll give us extra assimilation, which will help people assimilate into a more accepted culture. So this could grow the Brazilian culture. Or we have less assimilation and less radicalism. Well, how many people do we actually have at these different statuses in our country? Can we investigate that? Yeah. So we have 1.88 million of our pops at full acceptance. And then this is probably the Afro-Brazilian component, right? Does it actually say? Yeah, I mean, it's mostly Afro-Brazilian. That makes sense. And then over here we have... I think, just the other random cultures we have. And then there's quite a few actually in violent hostility. That's interesting. Okay, so if we go back and have a look... We actually have a lot of people that are radical in these columns. And assimilation, let's just double check this. So, assimilation happens when they have high enough acceptance. So if we have a look at our cultures again, we can have a look at the acceptance of each of these. So, Brazilian is the one that we're trying to get everyone to sort of join, if we can. These ones here are the ones that would assimilate. We don't have any French apart from a general. Then we have North Andean, Platinian, Amazonic, Celista, Nordestino. These ones we're going to integrate normally along with the Nordestinos, with some of these journal entry ideas. So most of the people are Afro-Brazilian, and they won't fall into that category, so because of our current laws. So let's actually do the decrease radicalism. I think that makes sense. Even though the Ibibio culture is pretty small here, I think it makes sense. Right, we've actually built our furniture factory. Let's have a look at that. So where is that? Yeah, that's just been built in Bahia, so that's pretty small at the moment. And then we're building the next one in Pernambuco. But clearly very productive, because wood's cheap, fabric's cheap, and furniture's really expensive. We can set these to lathes soon, hopefully. What tech are we researching? We're researching banking for more interest rate. That's fair enough. You can see our credit pool is increasing. So both the amount of debt we're in and the size of our credit pool are increasing. Ideally, we want to keep them in the same proportion. So ideally, we want to keep this red bar the same size. That's mostly what we want to do. Let's go back and have a look at... No, not the journal. Leverage, the ledger. So... No, that's not it. Is it actually the power block thing? Oh no, it was this menu. Okay, alright. Let's keep having a look at the leverage. So, Uruguay is going up. This is happening pretty quickly. So, we should be able to add Uruguay. We can probably do that as like a test run. What does this mean? Is it just their attitude? You know, it would help if this window was actually big enough that you could read what these said. What? It's not even giving me an entry here. Perhaps this suggests that they do it for an obligation? Really? There's a lot of countries here, if that was the case. Well, this is about whether they would accept as well. So we have to be able to make the offer. So we have to have at least 200 leverage advantage. So it has to be plus 200. And they have to have the attitude to actually accept it. And these guys would accept with an obligation based on their attitude. And then we still need to attain the leverage. Okay, that makes sense. Let's leave that window open for a minute. We can pay attention to that, maybe. Well, I mean, we'll come back to it. We're not going anywhere. Obviously, we've got 100 cohesion at the moment, because we're the only member. Good. Looks like we're going to progress to unlocking the next mandate in 30 years. That's not ideal. The more members we have, the faster we'll unlock additional mandates and additional bonuses. And obviously, we want to take advantage of this 10 authority per subject. So we do want to add small countries, even if they are really small. So Paraguay, I don't think is very happy with this, but that was probably going to decrease with time. So we'll see about that. Looks like our trade capacity is increasing again. We're importing luxury furniture. So let's go back to the furniture manufactories. And then... which... let's see. So we've got Bahia and we got Rio de Janeiro. Which one of these do we actually want to set to luxury furniture? Later on we can unlock precision tools as well, which is an even more efficient way of getting a lot of luxury furniture, but it does cost tools. But the amount of furniture you get, the difference in switch is much greater than the difference in switch in wood and hardwood, so I think that makes sense. Also, what's going on? I heard a ding. We got an event? No. Okay. So yeah, let's wait for this furniture factory to go all the way up. I mean, if we have a look at this one now, that would switch to +4 productivity. This one would do +5, but it still needs to actually fill up. And let's also check what the balance is again. The balance is still really low. In reality, we probably need like another 3 or 4 furniture factories to get this price down. Not that having cheap furniture is necessarily what we need right now to industrialize, but I mean, we're doing it to satisfy the petty bourgeoisie who we promised for now, and it also happens to fill our needs. So we'll do that for now. We're building the port as well. I would like to build a glass works as well. Now the only thing is, do I actually have a lead mine anywhere? We do have 2 states that can build lead mines. Rio Grande do Sul, which we reconquered at the last stream, and then Minas Gerais, which we already have. But Minas Gerais is low on infrastructure, so we'll build it in Rio Grande do Sul. Again. Let's do that. More tobacco. Okay. Power block invitations accepted. Yeah, I guess I should probably keep an eye on that, because we want to try and not have people... in fact, actually, if we look at it in this map mode, that's interesting. So, power block leverage. Yeah, the shields will be helpful for us, I think. I don't think we need to do anything specific with Uruguay. These are decentralized countries, so they're just sort of tribes and chiefdoms, so we're not going to be doing anything specific with them. At least not until we unlock some colonization laws. Costa Rica? I could probably get Costa Rica involved. Let's see, actually. Could I invite them to a... could I get them to set up a Power Bloc Embassy? Let's have a look. Yes. You just want that straight up. That's good. You're happy for me to take on your debt? How much is your debt? 131,000? That's not a lot. We don't need to. They'll accept us anyways, so we can just give them an embassy. That sounds good. We can add embassies to Central America. There's a lot of countries here. Let's see who would actually just accept an embassy. Yeah, you would, I think. Oh, we need the influence. Ah, beans. Okay, we'll wait until legacy slavery is done then. This is almost done. It's in voting, and it is 56% chance of succeeding right off the bat. That would be good. So we're building a port for the infrastructure. So the other states that don't have it are... I don't know, that's a pretty good balance at the moment, to be honest. We're building this one in Rio de Janeiro. We could build another one in Bahia if we feel like it. The other thing that convoys are actually used for is they're used for supplying your armies overseas. So it's not necessarily a bad idea to have spare convoys on hand in case we need to do that. But I don't know. I mean, these infrastructure imbalances are actually pretty tame. I think we just want to build more lumber camps. Let's just do that. Let's not overthink it. There are peasants here. Missing laborers. That's fine because we've got peasants. So that will do. We'll add a port to Bahia after that as well. I can leave it unpaused while we do this. Mato Grosso has the construction penalty, so maybe we don't do that one. Rio de Janeiro we could do because we're building the ports. That makes sense. These ones are looking pretty low. Pernambuco we could do. We've got peasants. Paraiba. That looks like a good one. What about Pará? No. Okay. Alright, that'll do. That's some more construction for now. And then let's go back to the power block leverage view. Okay, so we've got plus 43 with Uruguay. Man, I'm...
Killer fish. Killer fish from San Diego.
Hello, Uglavis.
I don't know what I am, but I taste really good. I'm a killer fish. Hello.
Hello.
I'll be your killer fish for the evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope you're doing well, Uglavisk. We're Brazil. We're in Victoria 3. We're having fun. Garibaldi is planning on leaving again. It's really funny. With Brazil at peace and the fight against tyrants over, at least for now, Giuseppe Garibaldi has decided to leave the country in pursuit of another worthy cause. So, he is from Rio Grande do Sul, which we reconquered earlier. And he is a agitator. In this case, he's agitating for the liberal movement. Last time, he was agitating for the slave revolt movement. But either way, he's in the trade unions. So I wanted to have a trade unions agitator, but that's fine. Because last time, we got rid of him and then he immediately came back. But I don't believe he's immediately coming back this time, so that's fine. We'll just leave it alone. I hope you're having a good day. Is that the Duolingo bird in your icon? It's kind of funny. How's Alchemy Factory been going? What have you been up to in that recently? We just finished a load of wars last stream to reclaim our natural borders. Oh, it's Bing Bong from Peak? Oh, okay, fair enough. And now we're setting up a power block where we're trying to diplomatically unite South America and then start vassalizing people and then creeping our way up here, maybe? Okay, we got extra navy offense defense. That's nice. Nice little passive spread. The factory grows. Good. Well, the factory's growing here as well. We just set up some furniture factories. This one's growing as well. Our people need a lot of furniture. We make a lot of wood. And we need to make a lot of furniture so people can sit down. They've been standing up for the last 4 years. An early coronation. Okay, here we go. Pedro. He's here, and he looks a lot better than he did when we initially tried this on Monday with the lower settings. Hoping to gain political capital, the Catholic Church Regency has decided to crown Pedro de Barranca as Emperor of Brazil significantly earlier than planned. So he loses the trait Child. He gains the trait Charismatic. That's very good. He gives plus 5% influence. That's good. We lose this Regency period modifier, so we lose Intelligentsia Strength. We gain Legitimacy, and we gain Enactment time, so that's good. And now we have the Magnanimous Monarch. So, yeah. How old are you? You're 14. Good job. So, essentially, we've got a few different things we want to do. If we keep the progress bar in the positive, when Emperor Pedro II dies, then we'll succeed, and the monarchy will be in a good position, and we'll be likely to get more progressive leaders for interest groups. And if it fails, then the Republic will form and we'll get rid of the monarchy. A 14-year-old is totally old enough to lead the country. Yeah, well, that's fine. As long as they wear the top hat, they'll be okay. But it will fail if the progress bar reaches 0. If the... it has to be all of those 3 in that group. So if the progress bar reaches 0 and the landowners in armed forces are not marginalized, or if the bar is below 50% when he dies, then we fail. And we get and we switch to a republic. So, what actually affects the progress bar? Well, lots of things. It says various positive or negative conditions. So, some of these are just historical, some of these are just completing our general objectives. Some of them are being a great power. Some of them are marginalizing the armed forces and landowners. And then negatives are like failing the Ragamuffin War, which we already succeeded. Failing to integrate the Brazilian nation, going bankrupt, having a revolution, having slavery banned. That's interesting. Pedro's health is in decline. So we'll just keep an eye on this over time, but it's going to be a little bit obtuse by design, but that's fine. This doesn't need to do anything immediately anyways. So yeah, let's see how it goes. We've unlocked the lathe. More passive spreading tech. This is good. So this will impact textile mills, furniture manufactories, and glass works. This is good for us because we have lead. So we'll set up the lead mine, we'll set up the glass works, and then we'll set up glass for all of our market squares. But this means we can immediately, and this is usually something that immediately is always profitable, we'll put in 5 tools and we'll get 20 extra furniture. That should be fine. Yeah, we'll just do this. So you'll start hiring more people, I imagine. And then similarly, we can add 5 dye and get 15 clothes. We don't currently have any dyes. Do we not have any dye plantations? We do have a few states that can do them. So let's put one in Rio Grande do Sul again. Because there's a lot of people there looking for jobs and there's a lot of infrastructure available. And then that will give us 45 dyes. So once that's built... You know what? Let's set this up here. And then we will start doing dye workshops for our clothes. Because people really want clothes as well. We're not... We're almost in a clothes shortage, and that's bad. Well, it's not that bad. But it's like... Would you want to be in a clothes shortage? Probably not. Okay, we didn't quite get legacy slavery, but it's still going up. We got our mass communications. We've got more authority now. Wow, this is a lot of authority. Oh, this is because Pedro is really popular. So we're getting more authority because the monarch is popular. That's good. Okay, so let's actually do some more decrees then. This is really good. So we can educate more people. Let's go to Rio Grande do Sul. I think... Yeah, let's just keep doing this on our larger states. That seems good to me. We've got some more influence again as well. So let's actually go ahead and... Can we add Nicaragua to our power block? Yeah, they want a power bloc embassy. They're guaranteed to accept the treaty, so that's good. We'll do that. And then we can actually do one more. Do we want to do Mosquito Kingdom? Maybe we do Honduras first. You want a power bloc embassy? You do. That sounds good to me. Good. Right, we've got a lot of treaties going now. That's good. Let's see. What's this? Just a setback. The armed forces, once a potential threat to the monarchy of Emperor Pedro, have become politically marginalized. This is surely a positive omen for the future stability of the Brazilian Empire. So this is clearly Pedro in the future, where he's got the iconic beard. Okay, so we get some extra progress. That's good. This is going up. Obviously, it doesn't... I don't think it immediately passes until Pedro dies. But that won't happen for a while, I imagine. Okay, so... Yeah, these are all filling up. Looks like we've got a bit of a tools shortage now. What yeah, our tooling workshops are both working on iron tools. We should probably set up a tooling workshop as well. The deficit on furniture is still here, though. We're not using tools for construction yet, so maybe we can hold off on the tooling workshops for a little bit. Yeah, this is still going up, but this is fine. It's going up slowly enough that I don't think it's really going to matter. Let's have a look at the leverage again. So, Uruguay is nearly there, and then Venezuela is almost positive, and then Peru is continuing to creep upwards as well. So, I think we would want to subjugate Peru at first, because they have access to all the sulfur we want. And they're the biggest prize, so I think that makes sense to prioritize doing that one. Looks like the dye plantation's nearly done. Let's put on speed 4 for a minute. I don't want to go too fast, but I think we're just waiting for this to make sure that I actually do set the clothes to the correct production method. And I believe you won't have any demand at the start. So let's see what happens there. Looks like standard of living is increasing too. Literacy is increasing by a lot. That's good. So we built the dye plantation. If we have a look here in... Where is this again? Rio Grande do Sul. So at the moment, we don't have any demand for dyes anywhere. Our infamy has gone down enough to vassalize Peru, right? Yeah. So the question is, do we want to do it by declaring war, or do we just want to do it with our power block? I know we probably could do it with declaring war, but they're actually friendly to us. So we probably don't even need to fight them and lose the soldiers from both ends. That's the question, isn't it? It's like, obviously it would be easier to fight them and subjugate them. But I think we have a potential situation where we actually don't need to fight people generally. What we could do is we could try and split up people like Bolivia and Argentina that aren't friendly into more countries that we can vassalize. And then we have more subjects, and then we get more authority from our power block. Also, we have a truce with Peru until, I believe, 1842? No? No, we have the truce with Bolivia. Okay. Well, we don't want to conquer state. If we wanted to make protectorate, that would be 11.8 infamy. We could do it right now. I mean, if we did this, would anyone actually fight on Peru's behalf? I reckon the US could join in on Peru's behalf. Because I think Peru have gotten quite friendly with the US. That would be bad. That's interesting. That is one thing about becoming a power block as well, is other power blocks and other great powers become less sort of amenable to you. I think we leave it. I think we can do it diplomatically for a change. I think we can achieve most of our goals diplomatically at this point. Let's try it, because we already did a load of war. Let's do something a bit different. We're still going to war with Bolivia. And we're still probably going to war with Argentina, but, again, if we have a look, yeah, you've got a truce until 1843, and you've got a truce, wait, oh, hold on, Conquer State. Oh, we don't have a truce with Argentina. Do we want to get them to, do we want to liberate a country? No, this isn't it. Transfer subject? We could get the US to transfer Puerto Rico to us. That would be kind of funny. Or Cuba. Again, I don't think that's what we're looking for. We could make them a protectorate right away, but... What are we even looking for? I swear there was a button here that would do this for us. I mean, let's have a look at the state. If we have a look at the state, does it have any claims on it from anyone else? I don't even know how we'd actually look at that. Do I just want to force vassalize Argentina now? There's a lot of people. So if we did make protectorate on Argentina, what would happen? I think Great Britain likes us better. I think this would actually go well. We could just vassalize Argentina. We could just vassalize Argentina now. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? We have the big advantage. Nobody else is supporting Argentina. We could force add Argentina, and then we can diplomatically add the others. Sounds good to me. Right, let's do it. I don't think there's any real reason not to do this. Not that I want to be a massive warmonger all the time. Right, so armies, let's mobilize, send to the front. They probably won't accept this demand, because, well, I don't know, let's see. They're uncertain. Yeah. They want to conquer Rio Grande do Sul. What could we do? We don't actually want to conquer any of this land. We just want Argentina to do well, but under our control. I don't think we even add any other war goals. I think we just go for it. Do you want to add any mobilization options to our groups? We can actually give them more supplies to give them bonuses, but Argentina's army is pretty pathetic compared to ours. So I don't think we need to do this. So, mobilizing them by default, you always do spend a little bit of grain, and then the actual input for the army itself increases as well. But it's not that bad. We have a big surplus of grain. Wait, what? Yeah, we do have a big surplus of grain. So that's fine. But yes, you're right. Our infamy is low enough, we might as well do this. How? Oh, right. We built the dye plantation. Nobody's using it. So let's set the clothes. Let's set the clothes to dyes. And then the dye plantation will start getting some actual productivity again, right? Okay. We've gone down to legacy slavery. This is really good. So we've got even more influence for doing shenanigans now. And the landowners will be less politically strong as well. Let's do something to keep the Catholics on side because they're powerful. We want the birth rate bonus to improve our population. So, what's our next lot of laws? Are there any that... Okay, so we know that the Catholics are really going to want charity hospitals. This will give them extra strength too, and this will give us less mortality. This does seem good. The industrialists are currently at +9, and they're giving us the capitalist investment pool efficiency, but they're not building anything anyways. I think we actually just do charity hospitals now. I think this is in our interest. Some preliminary healthcare. And this gets the trade unions on side as well. Sounds good. Okay. So, with the Brazilian slave trade banned and suppressed at the last, the mandate, be it real or imagined, of the Royal Navy to harass our shipping has passed, dramatically improving the diplomatic relationship between our country and Great Britain. Yes, we weren't actually doing any naval stuff over here, so we didn't actually bump into Great Britain, but I think they were technically able to harass us because of the historical slave situation. So we get a big buff to relations. Good. That's good. Let's just double check the effects of going to legacy slavery. So slave trade disables some production methods, so it disallows standard labor. So what we could do, actually, now we can go to our plantations. So by default, these are all set to either violent treatment or exploitative practices, which give you extra yields on the plantations, but they increase the mortality of the laborers by a lot, and they decrease the standard of living of the slaves. I don't think... Do we actually need the violent treatment or the exploitative practices on these guys? Well, we definitely don't need it on the dyes, so let's just change that back now. We probably don't need this on tea. So let's do that as well. Tobacco is already on standard practice. Interesting. Some of these others might be a bit hard to shift from, because the reality is this does give a lot of resources. Let's move to do that over time, maybe. What about the sugar plantations? Oh, wow. Look at that. That's like plus 35% mortality. Yeah, we do want to get rid of these, but it's going to take time. Let's do it gradually. I think that makes sense. Do we want to negotiate with anyone here? I mean, I don't want to buff the landowner's strength, but I do want them to be happy, because it's a lot of extra tax. But they're not on the list. We could do the petty bourgeoisie, we could do the intelligentsia. I believe we want to do the we want to do the petty bourgeoisie again, because we want to get these guys up to 20% if possible. Let's try and get political concessions on these guys. Yeah, that's good. And again, we're going to move away from charity hospitals eventually, so we don't have to keep this big buff to their interest group strength forever. Let's do that. And then... So that's improved success chance of 36%. We can negotiate with the industrialists who are opposing it, but this would just remove the stall chance, which is not very high, so I don't think it's worth doing. But that's okay. We're building the coal mine and the lead mine at the moment, and then after that, we'll probably just want to build the glass works. So where are we going to put that? We should probably just put that where the lead mine is, right? Yeah, let's just do it here. Is that all the construction? We could still add some more logging camps if we wanted to, but I don't think it's critical. I'd rather just get some of our building production methods up to tech. Let's get these urban centers working for us. Okay, so was that the lead? No. Okay. How's this war looking? You haven't swayed anyone. We're probably not going to sway someone. We could sway Great Britain. we don't really need Great Britain's help. I don't think that would cause them to just accept, because they're still... I don't know. Let's just do it. They've got 21 army. That's fine. What we could also do is we could upgrade all of our units after this. Can invite country to Power Bloc. Oh good, you get a notification for it. Invite countries. Guess who it is? It's Uruguay. Good. So, if accepted, then they'll join. And it says they've got a 55% chance. If we owe them an obligation... So hold on, let's have a look at this again. So... If we owe them an obligation, then they would accept. That's fine. We'll see what they do with the obligation. I don't think I've ever had... I've not had this actually backfire before. Let's do it. Hooray! Okay, so now if we go in here... So... Top Hat Empire. We have 2 members. And you are involved in the border. That's nice. So... Yeah, there's our leverage advantage. There's your GDP. Wow, that is 0.5% of our GDP. Nice. Okay, and then we've got some actions we could take. We could offer them knowledge transfer. I don't think we really want to do that. We could leave the power block and leave Uruguay in charge. No, that doesn't sound like a very good idea. Is that going to add any extra mandate? No, because they're insignificant. Do I want to... let's see. Diplomatic demands. I don't have... What other options do I have here? Do I have a power block option? If I go... Block leader actions. Ah, here we go. So here's the subjugate thing. So they have to be in the power block for at least 5 years for this to work. But that's fine. We'll just leave them in there for now. What? Oh, right. The power block embassy is no longer valid. That makes sense. I was a little worried about that. That's fine. The private construction is building some whales. Fair enough. Okay, well, it looks like we're going to start this war in a minute. You know what? I think I'm going to actually deploy you to the C node. And we're going to get you to focus on... coordinated interception or regular interception? Probably just regular interception. Or do we want to blockade? We could blockade. That might help wrap the war up a bit more quickly. Just do that. Let's actually see if we can use our navy for anything useful. We've got 100 authority now. That's good. That means we can do another decree. Probably, I don't know. Which states? Which states do I want to do this in? If we have a look at global population, probably is these states up here, right? Yeah, generally. Even though they're smaller, they do have more people in them. Yeah, okay, let's do this one. And eventually, once literacy gets high in those states specifically, then we'll shuffle the decrees around if we need to. And the good thing about having Argentina as a vassal is they can do all the colonization. We don't actually have to do any of the colonization. What's going on with the event? From the ground up. A noble man has risen as the popular leader of the intelligentsia, with some not so pleased by such high social mobility. So, do we want to decrease their interest group attraction? No. We want to keep it high, I think. That's fine. Celso Vargas. Okay. Alright, we're at war with Argentina. This should be fine. Let's see how it goes. You guys have orders to attack. Do we have any extra orders on these guys? No, I think they've just got the normal orders. That's fine. We've estimated to have a pretty good advantage. We have similar offense and defense, but we just have more men. And I think we're more organized than them. So, that's good. Right, we have coal as well. So let's actually go to our buildings. Let's set our urban centers to use gas streetlights now. That's fine. Do it for all of them, because they will all eventually want them. And... okay. Giuseppe Garibaldi has been sent into exile by Bolivia. Wait, can we get Giuseppe back? No, he's not showing up. He's not available. That's funny. Yeah, coal shortage, that's fine, because we've got a coal mine now. If we actually go and have a look in here... where's the coal mine? Here. Yeah, this should start hiring now. Tools are very expensive. We probably do need to actually build a tooling workshop at this point, right? Yeah, we're starting to use plenty of tools. So, let's queue up one of those as well. Probably in a state where we don't already have them. Probably just Rio de Janeiro, right? Makes sense. Okay, looks like we're fighting. So... this is everyone, I think. Oh, this is most of the troops. So, looks like they've got higher defense. So, we're going to take some losses. That's not so good. Maybe we can get some lucky modifiers. We got the 15% kill rate, but they've got the extra defense. Oh, it's because they're dug in. That's why the defense is higher. Well, we're getting demoralized, but... yeah, this isn't looking in our favor, really. Well, it looks like we're going to start another fight on this front soon, I think. I think maybe when that battle wraps up. Popular playwright endorses reform. Okay, so... I don't think we need more Catholic pop attraction. We don't need more prestige, because we're above 112. So let's just do the enactment success chance. Well, this isn't good. Do we want to build more troops? We could build more troops, or we could just upgrade them. I mean, what was going on with the arms industry again? Let's have a quick look at that. So, that would be this one. So we're currently making as many arms as we're consuming. Okay, well, let's not upgrade our troops. We could add 3. Let's add 3 irregulars to this one. Let's see. Here, here, and here, probably. And then at least we've got 2 armies with 20. That makes sense, right? And then let's promote those. The lead can wait until actually we've done the glassworks. That's fine. Yes, let's see how this goes. Looks like everyone's set up their camps. We've got some guns, we've got some stakes, some barrels. Yeah, that's not gone very well for us. Boo. Well, we could just hang back and defend for a little bit if we want. Until we build these extra troops. It says we're still technically at an advantage at the moment. They have much less manpower than we do. So we might be alright. Looks like another battle has started. Looks like we're doing better in this one because they're not dug in and they've actually made a blunder at the start. So that might help us. I bet it'd be really interesting to actually try and play as Argentina. They start in a presidential dictatorship, I believe, instead of a monarchy. But, yeah, I think this is working for us. Again, people are getting demoralized, though. They've got the extra defense, but they're exhausted. Okay. Let's leave that alone. I think we are winning that one. I think it's been fairly even trading on men so far, but we'll keep it. We'll just keep an eye on it. Looks like we're building some more banana plantations in Mato Grosso. Okay. Let's keep looking at our slave situation because we want to switch off of violent practices whenever we can. We could always go down gradually as well. There's not a problem with that specifically. The thing is, I just don't trust this. Okay, so look at this. So we've got a surplus of 217 sugar. So this is saying it's going to get really expensive, but it's not going to get that expensive because this is only 129. This is 258, which I think we can still handle. So let's switch the sugar to standard practices. We'll see how that goes. This is going to decrease our GDP, but this will increase people's happiness, and it will prevent excess deaths, so our population should increase faster. Oh, the US has formed the Power Bloc. Interesting. We've got banking, so we've got extra minting money, we've got extra loan interest rate reduction, extra trade capacity, trade advantage for capacity, that's good. Okay, so yeah, we're actually at the point where even though we've been in debt, we're growing our economy fast enough that we're going to start paying it off. That's good. Let's keep having a look at the society techs. So we've done all the Era 1 society techs now, so we can do a level 2 one. What I would like to do is unlock a company straight away. Because companies are very powerful, and they buy your buildings off of you, and they give you extra economy of scale bonuses and unique modifiers. So we want to have a thorough look at companies. I think we can probably do that today. How's this going? Again, we're just getting pretty demoralized, aren't we? I mean, so far this is working. We're just taking more losses than we'd like. But that will probably stop being an issue fairly soon because they're depleting their manpower. Let's keep looking at this. What is the power block situation? Who's the next one? Okay, so we're pretty close to getting Ecuador and Peru and all of these guys. That's good. But obviously we're going to be directly competing with... the Colombian Pact now. So we will have to keep an eye on that. Let's keep looking, while we're doing this war, let's keep looking at these working conditions. So, cotton. If we set cotton to standard labor, that'll be 206 less fabric, but we're not really producing a big surplus of this, and we're using it for construction, so maybe we leave this one for now. Coffee. So this would be 209 less coffee. So if we look at this, that will... Yeah, we're producing a big surplus, so we can switch this one, even though there's 20 plantations on it. That's actually acceptable, I think. Yeah. This is good. Okay, we're winning this one. So we're pushing him. It's funny how we got this just little border here, but, well, I guess we got the Rio Grande do Sul bit as well, which is good. Yeah, we're pushing through. Look at all the flags! No flag, no country. There's a little bit of lag down here, but that's fine. I'm really glad that this is working properly. Yeah, we've definitely got the big numbers advantage. But again, because of the location, we can't quite concentrate those numbers fully. But I think we're pretty much done with this state. Yeah, that's good. Charity hospitals is progressing. Good. Okay, look, we can invite a country. We can add Ecuador and Peru. Okay, let's add Peru, because they will accept. Good. And then what about Ecuador? They've got a 40% chance. If we owed them an obligation, that would go to 75%. I think we can probably do better. Do I just want to... We've been using some of this influence to pay off our infamy. What we could do is we could improve relations with Ecuador as well. And now that I think about it, I probably could have been doing that elsewhere as well. Let's do that in Chile for now. And then let's guarantee that we can get Ecuador in with an obligation. I think that makes sense. Giuseppe Garibaldi has been exiled from Italy. Everyone's trading him in and out. Should we have a look and see if he's going to be there in our list? No, okay. Fair. Right, so Peru's in. Let's go back and have a look at our power block now. So yeah, look, we've got Uruguay here, we've got Peru here. It's all coming together. So now because Peru is a minor power, we've got +2 to our mandate progression. So this is speeding up to 9 years. So this is what we want. We want these larger powers to be involved, not necessarily Uruguay, but it's fine. He's still here. And once we've got everyone on our power block over here, I wonder what we'll start doing next. I mean, we could try and break up large countries and get lots of subjects. If we broke up China into lots of different cliques, then that could work pretty well. I'm not sure that's the most morally sound thing to do, but it's something we could try. I don't know. This is doing fine. Barracks are still building. That's good. How's this going? Oh, good. We've got a mass migration coming in. So, large numbers of Wallonian people have begun migrating from Luxembourg to Sao Paulo. So, if we look at Wallonian culture, so we have a shared... We share a heritage group with them. Hold on. So, let's have a look at this. More or less morally sound compared to all the slavery. Yes, who knows? Truly. Well, yes, we'll see. Let's have a look at this then. So, this is good. This means lots of people are coming to the country. So, yeah, we got the target here from, and this will continue for another month. Oh, look, it's Christmas. They're all moving in over Christmas. So, we accept Wallonian culture with an acceptance of 65 because we have the racial segregation policy, and we share a heritage trait group with them, and we share a language trait group with them. So this is enough acceptance that they're going to come over here. And it seems like the Wallonian people are being persecuted in Luxembourg, which is interesting. So if we have a look at this, cultures, yeah, they've got a cultural community, but oh, this is actually just their general population. Have they just got a lot of turmoil in general then? No? Let's have a look at migration attraction then. So their migration attraction is 20.4. They've got minus 25% because they're an insignificant power. And then if we look over here, so Sao Paulo has a migration attraction of 45. And again, we've got a big bonus to that because A, our landowners are happy and powerful. So I'm really glad we're getting the big landowner bonus to this. This is probably why we're actually getting the mass migration. So we really want to keep these guys above 3 happiness. And then we're also getting it because we're a great power. So it's basically very small country to very powerful country. Makes sense? Cool. So now, if we actually go, because they'll migrate to Sao Paulo, and they'll also migrate to the other surrounding states as well. So if we look at the migration overlay, at the moment, this is saying, this week, Rio de Janeiro attracted 865 migrants, but they're all from within Brazil. Similarly here, if we let the week roll over, then we should actually see the migration pattern change. And I know I'm doing this while I'm at war, but I'm not really that concerned about the Argentinians. It will happen at some point. Let's speed for it while I'm just looking for this. But yeah, it will stay down. You'll know when it happens because it's going to glow green. Yeah, there we go. So we've had 1,440 immigrants from Luxembourg this week. And it looks like they've also been coming. So we've got another 2,000 in Minas Gerais. And we've got another 1,400 in Mato Grosso. And we've got another 1,700 in Rio de Janeiro. So that's like 7,000 people this week from migration. And if we look at our birth rate, our average expected annual population growth is 74,000. So mass migrations make a big difference. And that's why I want to attract as many of them as possible. So we'll just let that happen in the background, but you'll probably see it spike up every now and then whenever one of those happens. And it usually happens every month for a year. We want to attract as many of those as possible. There are actually... Oh, look, they're colonizing the other states as well. That's good. That's why I want to keep them as a vassal. They're already doing it. What was I going to say? There's decrees down here that increase migration attraction as well. So what you can do is you can put this in one state where you have a load of migration attraction and then attract a load of mass migrations to that state. So we'll probably do that at some point, but we're still trying to educate everyone. We've actually got more authority up here again. That's good. Oh yeah, because we've had a time modifier that's been decaying this whole time. Good. So let's add education here. Looks like we're building the logging camps now. What else have we got left on here? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just keep building logging camps for now. The war is going well. The Argentinian manpower is very much depleted. That's good. We'll keep going through here and unharshening conditions. So, let's see. This will be 305 less fruit. We're currently not producing a surplus. We're not producing a big surplus, but this also won't make it so expensive that we're going to have a massive problem. So I think we will just switch this now. So now that's come up as a deficit. So what this probably means is we'll just end up building more banana plantations, but that's fine. So long as we have people to actually join those jobs, that's fine. And the more available jobs we have as well that aren't being filled, the more migration we will attract. Because people will know there's jobs available for them. Yeah, it's just cotton left. I think we can do this. They're already building a cotton plantation. I think this is fine. So we've got everyone back to standard treatment now. Good. That will also help our population growth rate. That's up to 80,000. Good. What else we got? We can invite, let's see. We can invite Nicaragua. We can invite Ecuador. So you will accept now because we've been improving relations with them. That's good. So let's do that. And then you will also accept. That's good. Okay. Neat. I think this means I can stop improving relations with you now. I'm really glad I figured out how to do this power block stuff now, because I've literally never done this before. Hooray! Good. Okay, so let's go back and have a look at the power block. It's growing. I don't believe you are... Are you a minor power? You're an insignificant power. Nicaragua, I believe, is an insignificant power. So we're not going to get extra mandates, but it's better than nothing. Paraguay, I think we're probably going to have to force in. We're getting some extreme winds. It's not ideal. We still invite someone? We can invite Costa Rica now. Sounds good. Ray. The gang's all here. I think they're getting ranked in order of importance. Yeah, that makes sense. So our cohesion is reduced slightly because we've got less relations with Uruguay. We could improve that. Looks like our cohesion is generally going down. We want to keep cohesion above 80 for sure. We get minus 15 from 5 independent non-leader block members. Yeah. Okay, and nobody has any liberty desire either. That's good. Ooh. We got an event here. New neighbors, new grudges. A minority group of Wallonian has recently settled in the state of Sao Paulo, seeking a better future. However, the local Brazilian elite are stirring up resentment, claiming the Wallonian newcomers will destroy the traditional way of life. So, either they must accept their lot, so we reduce their acceptance, they become more radical, but our upper strata becomes more loyalist. The thing is, our upper strata is not very large, so I generally don't care that much about it. If we go in here, it's 40,000 people. We must foster harmony between peoples, whether Wallonian or Brazilian. So 5% of pops in the state become more radical, and then we've got a 25% chance it gets reduced. We get a 75% chance it gets improved. Or we could be the old Brazilian ways cannot continue to dominate our nation. 20% of Brazilian upper strata pops become more radical in Sao Paulo, and then acceptance of Wallonian pops in Sao Paulo is improved by +20. Well, that just seems like the best deal, doesn't it? Like, we don't have that many upper strata pops in Sao Paulo specifically, so just do that. Right? Get out of here. Get out of here. That's only one state as well. We do have a couple of starving people now just because of the various harvest conditions that are going on. It's not a lot, though. If we start to get, like, over 1%, then I'll start thinking about doing stuff, I think. This is mild starvation. Also, the devastation is nearly gone from these places. Amazonas is starving, but we've got the emergency relief there, haven't we? No, we can't have it there. Okay. What can we do to improve that? I mean, incorporating it for one thing. Well, this is going well. And then the other person we want to fight is Bolivia, and we'll do that in 1843. I think you can go back to base now. I don't really care about what you're doing. There you go. Yeah, let's keep working on making construction goods cheaper. Obviously, we've just made fabric more expensive, so I'm not surprised that our budget is doing a bit worse, but that's fine. And then once we're wrapped up with the war, we'll start saving the money on that mobilization again. Yeah, there we go. That's all done. Good. So, you're our vassal now. So if we go to Power Bloc, that means you're in the Power Bloc. So this is going well. You're also a... you're a minor power, so you'll give us mandate as well. So that's good. Our cohesion will drop, though, because Argentina doesn't like us. So we need to improve relations with Argentina. That's the next thing we need to do. So go here, improve relations, Argentina, and then subject diplomacy. Grant independence, perfect. No. We've got some vassal actions we can do. I don't think we want to grant them their own market. I don't think we want to do any of these. Liberty Desire is currently not budging. Okay. But I'm imagining it will generally start going down once we improve relations. Do we want to draft a treaty for military access? I think that makes sense. Actually, that costs influence as well, doesn't it? I don't really want that. Do I? Well, the thing is, it will let us get to Chile. Do I need to do... I think I probably just need to do the same with all of these guys. We'll think about that. Let's leave it for now. We have an artillery shortage and a liquor shortage. That's weird. What's going on? Oh, did we capture an artillery? No. Oh, it's because Argentina is in our market and they have artillery. They've conscripted an artillery. Okay, well, I'm sure That's going to resolve itself with trade. What about liquor? We do actually need to produce some liquor then, don't we? Well, how are we going to do that? We have rice farms, we have maize farms, so neither of these gives the option of getting, like, say, potatoes for liquor. Does this mean we just have to make, like, a food industry? We could do that. We could make a food industry. You could set these to produce liquor as well with sugar, so let's do that. Probably Mato Grosso has peasants, but it's got a low construction efficiency. Let's just do Rio. I think that's usually a good one. The big Rio. Okay. But yeah, I suppose that's partly the argument for not adding Argentina, is because our cohesion is going to tank because they don't like us and are in the power group. But they're giving us benefits as well, so we probably do want that. We've got charity hospitals. Nice. So we still have enough bureaucracy. We get lower mortality, higher food security. That would be really good, actually, because we've got some ongoing extreme winds and whatnot. So that's good. And pollution health effect reduction is very relevant the more you industrialize. This guy looks too young to be in charge of the power block. We'll see. Let's go have a look at our institutions. So we can actually make our church a bit... we can make our education a bit stronger. We should definitely do that. We should have done that a while ago, probably. We can't upgrade our health system at the moment. That's fine. I think what I'll do then is I'll set up another government... I'll set up another government place in probably Minas Gerais, because that's... Actually, no, we've got plenty of tax capacity. Don't do it in Minas Gerais. Everywhere has plenty of tax capacity. It doesn't really matter too much. I guess we'll just keep putting them in Rio. Let's put that to the top of the list, and then we can actually get our religious schools stronger. Okay, so this is going well. We're sapping the clout away from the landowners, and we're giving it to the church. We want to get more of it in the hands of the petty bourgeoisie, but now, even though we've done the law, they're still at plus 11. So long as these guys are above plus 8, and we haven't got any laws going, that's really good for us. And so long as we're above plus 3. So what's the next one? What's the next one that we can do? We could try and progress our voting to census suffrage. So this reduces our authority, but this means more of our legitimacy comes from votes. And it unlocks the women's suffrage law. Who likes this? Who doesn't like this? So we want to keep the landowners on side. Let's keep passing laws that keep them on side for now. And still benefit us. What about dedicated police force? They don't like this because... Oh, because the local police force is giving them more political strength at the moment. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll keep thinking about this. Propertied women, they obviously don't like this. Right of assembly, they don't really like this. We could go to laissez-faire economy. This one's really funny. It basically makes it so that your loans are really cheap, but most of your construction goes to your private industry instead of your government industry. Can make sense if you've got a really large country, but I mean like China large. Not like how large we are at the moment. We could go for total separation of the state and the church. The church is not overly keen on this. We could do a -5 with the church, but not a -10 at the moment. Well, we could. We could even go for state religion, but I don't think that's a very good idea. Because we're trying to be hospitable to everyone. Nobody is really in the mood for colonization, but that's fine, because Argentina will do that. I think I'm fine with our trade policy as well. What's our current bureaucracy situation? So, At the moment, most of our bureaucracy costs us from population rather than institutions. Hereditary bureaucrats gives you less bureaucracy cost from population. Appointed bureaucrats gives you just more taxation capacity, which we don't actually need. And then elected bureaucrats actually makes our bureaucracy institutions cheaper. So we don't need the taxation capacity. So I think maybe we go for elected bureaucrats. Oh, the landowners don't like that either. The landowners don't like anything. Boo! This is the problem that you will find. I mean, the church are probably... Well, I want to keep the church at 20% power. They're quite a bit... They're a bit more powerful than that at the moment. We could consider just going for public schools, but... We're not really that keen on either of them. Makes sense. Is there a, well, get rid of them then option with respect to the landowners? Well, you gotta... We're trying to do it gradually, because they're attracting people to the country. Like, it's a balance. We've got to try and figure out the balance. Oh, I know what we could do. We could set up a labor association. So at the moment, we've got combination acts, which acts to restrict the trade unions. What we could do is we could ease up on that and encourage the trade unions. Because the landowners don't care about this. So if we went for right to associate, the industrialists would be very unhappy. But that's possibly alright. What about anti-strike laws? They go down to -3. That is probably fine. So we'd keep the prestige bonus on these guys. We would probably get the manufacturing tax income debuff to these guys. But we don't have a... I don't think we have a huge amount of manufacturing tax income at the moment. Can we actually hover on this and see what's going on? So I believe that would be the government dividends. Most of this is from logging camps. I think we just do right to associate and we get the trade unions involved in the government. I think that's fine. And then this means we get less radicals from political movements as well, so that's good for us. Ultimately, I think. Yeah, sure, let's just do it. This seems fun. And we don't need the prestige bonus because I think even if we lost 10% of this, we would still be okay. Yeah, let's do it. You've activated tax avoidance now, that's fine. And then if we look at this, so we're just above the threshold. And we can be below the threshold for a year, but this means we'll probably, at least while we're passing this law, we'll probably want to start seeing, finding more prestige sources. So what that's telling me is now would actually be a good time to upgrade our army. We're building the government administration. Let's do that first. And then we'll just go to our armies and we'll actually just upgrade all of our infantry. So we've got 2 cavalry and 18 infantry here. We've got 2 cavalry and 18 infantry here. Oh, good. You're starting to colonize. That's good. Let's see. We can support more declared interests. Okay. Oh, right. Because we now actually control people in these areas. That makes sense. How about the US? No, I don't think I really care about that. How about holdings in southern part of the world? I think that makes sense. Just in case any opportunities come up. And then let's have a look at this again. So we can invite... Who can we invite now? So we can invite Honduras. We can invite Venezuela. And it looks like they would both accept. Yeah, good. Yeah, you can accept. And then... Yeah, you would accept as well. That's good. Hooray. Alright, okay, so Venezuela will add some good mandate as well, because they're also a minor power. Nice. Yeah, we got Venezuela, we got Argentina, we got Peru. We already have... Where's our authority from vassals? Yeah. So we've got Argentina as the vassal, so that's their authority there as well. And that gets multiplied by our plus 48%, so that's pretty good. Looks like we could probably start attracting a few of these countries up here. Los Altos, Guatemala. I believe these are insignificant powers. Yeah. Makes sense. And then we got Mexico over here. Ooh, what about Mexico? You want a Power Bloc Embassy? We could do investment rights, so this means that they can invest in our construction, we can invest in their construction. I'm not sure that's necessarily helpful at the moment. Mexico's looking alright at the moment. They're probably going to fight the United States. We probably do actually want Mexico as a friend. What about you? Do you want to be in our power block? No, not really. Just gonna let you have an embassy. I don't mind having you in the power block. We've got the influence for that at the moment. What about Chile? How's this going? Okay, so we have a lot of... Yeah, this is just Argentina having liberty desire. Chile is looking like they're leaning towards us. In fact, actually, if we have a look... at leverage, is that going to end up at plus 200 long term? Yes. Okay, we'll just leave Chile. They'll join eventually on their own. Good. Hold on. Revolution in England. we got the British bourgeois revolt. Fantastic. London has they've seceded from Britain. That would be interesting. Wow. What if the radicals win? Is there anything else interesting going on in the world that I've been kind of ignoring? I think we've got an event ticked up here. So we'll pause for now. No British Tibet this time. What a shame. Doesn't look like there's anything too interesting going on there. Oh look, some of the British Radical Revolt is in Canada as well. Ooh. Fun. Despite not enjoying full rights under Brazilian law, some wealthy Guarani people are beginning to move into their neighborhoods and frequenting establishments they would normally be excluded from. So do we want to keep the peace with some new regulations, or do we just want to... Yeah. Why? Well, yeah, let's just make them a loyalist. Why would we want to do this? Yeah, there you go. Enjoy. Enjoy your success. These are the Guaranis. Good. So this progress bar is going up because we've abolished the slave trade law. And the Regency period is concluded. So this should reach 100% at some point, which will deplete the magnanimous monarch entry and give us the event Golden Law, Golden Rose, which I'm not sure what that's going to do. Now that we've actually shown an interest in Australia, all of these different countries are boosting their attitude of us. That's why the game is lagging at the moment. Hold on. Death by notification. Oh, that's funny. Okay. We're not allowed to see our menu for a minute. I can cancel all of these if I want. I'm going to cancel all of these. There's lots of small nations down there. Can you just let me click these? Shift right click to dismiss all. There we go. Good. Get out of here. Right, we built the government administration as well, so before I forget, let's actually promote the church with the religious schools. Let's make the religious schools more pervasive. Iron is expensive, that checks out. Why is iron expensive? The tooling workshops. And also, we're exporting it for some reason. That's weird. Okay. Let's do another iron mine then. Probably just in this state? Yeah. Seems fine. The military. Right, let's actually upgrade our units. And then, because we're not going to be fighting any wars for a little bit, so this gives us time to build some more arms industries. So, yeah, upgrade everyone. Upgrade everyone. Upgrade everyone. This will improve our prestige a lot. But we're going to have to do some work to actually fulfill the shortages as they come in. But that will happen gradually. I think this means we're probably going to want to do the iron immediately. But we'll keep an eye on this. You're building another maize farm? Amazing. Yeah, loyalists are doing well. We're getting a lot of approval from loyalists. That's really good. Not too many radicals. Most of them are from Amazonas because of the historical stuff. But at the Rio de Janeiro Citizens Association, a social club popular with the educated class, has held a salon in Rio de Janeiro, with Francisco Sabino speaking in favor of the right to associate as an honored guest. So we can either get 10% extra success chance, or we get 5%, and people in Rio have increased expectations of living, but they have increased qualifications, and it increased pop strength. More qualifications in Rio seems good. I don't know, I mean, we've already got 52%. Let's add another 10%. That seems better. I just want to get these laws passed, I think. France has formed a power bloc. Okay. Might get some agitators from South Australia. That would be interesting. Yeah, we really want to focus on improving Argentina's relations with us. So you know what? Let's do military access. You guys will appreciate that. We've got some influence for that, so let's go ahead and do that. Is there anything else that you want? They would appreciate military assistance, but I don't want to give that to them. What about... Got any more vassal things going on? The funny thing is, we could also... I mean, this is very silly, but considering we get bonuses from having subjects, you could actually release your own territory as subjects, but that seems like a bad idea. Unless you've got like a particularly useless subject. The other thing as well is, depending on the country, they can each receive a lot of... Sorry about that. They can each receive a lot of states, so that's probably not a great idea. The Confederation of the Equator. Balkanized Brazil. That would be kind of amusing. Okay. Let's keep having a look at this. So yeah, Cohesion is still tanking. So this is going to decrease our mandate progression, but this is looking pretty good. So we're just going to keep sourcing up Argentina. I mean, the alternative as well is we could have conquered Argentina and then released them as a vassal, but that gives you a lot more infamy. But then they would probably like us more. Would have been interesting to consider. So how do we do this anyways? Do we get like an event? National hero. Oh, we need the devastation to reduce below 5. That's what we want. That should happen. That should actually be the case now, right? Like right now. Ragamuffin War has ended, and all states with Amazonic homelands have devastation less than 5. Is there a devastation map mode? Oh, perhaps it needs to be incorporated. Oh, cultural fervor of Brazil is greater than 26. Oh, so this is another thing that I haven't talked about, cultural fervor. So, our fervor at the moment is 22, and it's increasing to 28, and that's because... Why is it increasing to 28? I think because of literacy. But the more fervor your culture has, the less quickly they assimilate, the more quickly they form radicals when they're conquered, and then the more likely they are to join cultural movements. So having fervor for a culture is like a good defense against invaders, but I guess it's relevant in this specific circumstance as well, because we're trying to integrate these other cultures. So we're waiting on fervor for that. And then the Nordestinos we could do right away, but we have to either ban slavery or find a regional national hero. Okay. Well, we'll think about that. Yeah, the intelligentsia have dipped off now. That's fine. Right to associate is passed to drafting. That's good. How is the army upgrading going? Are we actually good? Let's just check what the arms industry situation is. It might be that we're actually only using small arms as a good for this. Yeah, so that's gone up quite a lot, but it looks like we don't have any other requirements. In fact, let's just check the army again. Yeah, so you require small arms. You require grain and small arms. We could probably build another arms industry, and that would be good. Oh, it looks like wait. Argentina has one. Oh, right. And that's actually, if we have a look here. Yeah, so Argentina has an arms industry. So that's actually contributing towards the market. But if we go here, they're not hiring. Will they start hiring? It seems like they will start hiring at some point. I think we'll just leave it alone for now, then. Maybe we just build our own anyways. There's nothing wrong with having cheap military goods. We could put it in... Let's just put it in Rio. We should probably have, like, one level of everything in Rio. And then I need to pay attention to these state modifiers as well when we're building stuff. Are we still having the migrations? Yeah, we are. So how many Wallonians have we got here now? Does it actually say down here? Yeah, look, we got like 12,000 Wallonians in Sao Paulo. We've got 5,000 in Parana. We've got 10,000 in Mato Grosso. We haven't got any here. We've got 14,000 in Minas Gerais. And then we've also got 22,000 in Rio. Nice! That's actually a big jump in population. You can kind of see that here. A little bit. Because it's starting from here. That's good. Okay, so that's helped our prestige a lot, so we're clear of the threshold again because of our army power projection. That's good. What else do we want to do at the moment, then? Because we're waiting on the truce with Bolivia. Paraguay, I believe we're also waiting on a truce with. Can we vassalize you? Yeah, we're waiting on a truce with Paraguay as well. What about adding you to the power block? Hold on. Let's leave it unpaused while we're doing this. Chile is pretty close. We can keep waiting for Chile. What about Haiti? But Haiti doesn't have a lot of stuff towards that. Oh, we got the Costa Rican peasant revolt. Lol. They'll be fine. How are you trending? You're trending upwards. You're trending upwards. You have a lot of different power blocks interacting with you, so it's probably not very likely. Same with Mexico. Wow, these guys picked some ugly flags. That's fine. I think... So the British Empire is in the lead with New Granada. I think I was going to attack New Granada as well, wasn't I? You've got a truce until 1842. Okay. Let's go after... Maybe go after New Granada next. I want to ideally make sure that we actually have access to Panama. For the canal. Yeah, we'll have a think about that. Wait, have we got more construction sectors? Did we just build this many construction sectors? We did. Okay, fair enough. That's good. We got locust swarms. Wow, we've had a load of environmental issues today. Where are they showing up? The locusts. I don't think they'll last very long, though. Can we see the locusts? Yeah, it's looking a bit barren here. And it's like, oh god, there's so many locusts. Well, the devastation's nearly gone. That's good. Yeah, you can actually see devastation in this map mode, I guess. Alright, what's the market situation? Wood, we're making up our wood surplus. We got a fabric, our deficit. We got a fabric deficit as well. Probably want to do another cotton plantation, right? That would make sense. Minuscule race seems like a good one for that. Yeah, do that for now. Looks like we're building the glassworks next. Nice, nice. Yeah, let's do that so I don't forget about it. With the market squares. Fruit could do with a banana plantation as well because of the change of conditions there. Yeah, let's do it here. That seems good. Keep making sure there's local access to things. Private construction's gone, so we're dipping in again. But our interest is still pretty low despite all of this. But we did decrease our GDP a fair bit by switching away from those slaving practices, but I think that's acceptable, because it means we're killing less people. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? Looks like these guys in the middle aren't doing so well. These political lobbies aren't really doing very much. But, to be honest, we're spending our influence on our power block rather than trying to appease France. I think that makes sense. So trade unions get extra political strength, we get less radicals, more labor movement, pop attraction, and this disables the exploitative practices. Fine, that's good. Okay, what next? Actually, let's leave it unpaused for like a week. I want to see what these interest groups do again. They'll probably change next week, right? We're exporting gold? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, these guys are very happy now because of recently passed laws. So, let's see. We could probably do something that the church doesn't want. Now might be a good time to do it. If we did public schools now, the church would still be on side. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's a little bit more education access as well. What does institution further do? I can see these words combined. I'm not sure what specifically that means. Does that just mean that pops that are involved in education have more further? Well, we want more further, generally, don't we? To integrate those cultures. So, I think this makes sense. Let's just do it now. Because I don't think we'll have a good chance to do it later. And if we go back to religious schools, does that have an amendment? No, it doesn't. But that's fine. So, if I add an amendment to this, it's probably going to stick. But equally, we do want this to pass. So let's see what the petty bourgeoisie can offer. Perhaps if we invested in more trade center, that is something we could do. 24 trade centers. We'll do that in 10 years, for sure. We've been building them every now and then anyways. I don't think we necessarily want to commit to passing property women yet after doing this. I don't think we want to lower taxes, because then we're just going to spiral out of control with our debt. So, yeah, let's do this. This will also decrease our construction sector throughput, so I think that will save us some money as well, which I'm fine with. Then we get our prestige back. Fair enough. The thing is, once you actually have enough prestige, you don't really need more. But, well, we'll see. Cool. Has wood just dropped off the list now, then? Yeah, so fabric, more clothes, more furniture. We're still making more coffee than we need, still making more grain than we need, but there's not really much to do about that other than hire people in different areas. We can invite... You can invite Guatemala to our power block, sounds good. Hooray! Power block is growing. So our cohesion is suffering a lot now. And again, this is mostly just because Argentina doesn't like us. But we're improving their attitude slowly. Oh, look! We're getting large numbers of French people. That's what I like to see. Okay, so have we got 2 migrations? I don't think we have 2 migrations going at the same time, but a French migration is pretty good. Okay, so this state and its surrounding states are the targets of extensive migration from French people. Well, damn, we got the double French going on. Okay, let's keep this mode open for a little bit, and then we can assess the impact. I think it's going to be a huge impact. So that's good. What's this? Expanding gold mines? Wait, we had more gold mines and we hadn't been building them? What? Why didn't I know about this? Oh, they're in Argentina. So we're building gold mines in Argentina. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Their money is eventually going to be my money anyways. Sure. Okay, let's keep an eye on the migration again. Because that will affect multiple states, I think. And again, it seems to refresh on like a semi-monthly basis. Looks like we've added to our education again. That's good. Show me the migration. I want to see it. There we go. How much is this? Wait. So we had 17,000 French people move here today. We had 6,000 here, 7,000 there, 7,000 there. Good. Good stuff. Yeah, this is going to be a big increase in population then. And we'll probably end up with a lot of events about French. So yeah, we're going to end up with a lot of migrants from this sort of region. How is the British... Wait! The British Radical Revolt is winning. What is going on with this? Hold on. Can I see what's going on here? Are you winning your war? Yeah, they are winning. the British Radical Revolt is the number 3 great power, and Great Britain is the number 4 great power. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, look, they're taking all of Canada. Oh, wow. That's hilarious. Well, what's going to happen to the Raj? Does this mean that India is just going to open up? Potentially very interesting. Nah, this is really good though. Our population's going to go up like a lot now. We'll have lots of French people to hire. Any more entries to the power block? Okay, we can add Los Altos. It's probably fine, right? You're kind of umming and ahhing. I'll give you an obligation. There you go. How does that sound? What about Chile? Oh, Chile's at 199. Okay. We'll add Chile afterwards. Did they join in? I don't think they did join. What? The Voice of Salvador, a popular newspaper read by the petty bourgeoisie, has published an article by Francisco Sabino advocating for the inaction of public schools. Well, there we go. So we can get reduced enactment time and increased success chance, or we could reduce those buffs and give a buff to attraction and approval of the petty bourgeoisie. Now, they're already at max approval, or they're already at max happiness. But we could increase their clout, so that seems like a good idea. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I don't think this is going to stall out. We really want to shift some of the people from the Catholic Church into the petty bourgeoisie. We got moderate rainfall. This is actually a good one. So, good. They declined! We gave them an obligation, didn't we? Or did we not actually check that? Wow. We got rejected by the almighty Los Altos. That feels bad. Did I just not actually check that? Oh, whatever. Can we invite Chile now? No, we're actually losing. We're actually losing it here. Why are we losing leverage here? Let's see. So, yeah, we're gradually losing it. So, can we do something? Can we improve relations with you? We are improving relations with you. Okay. What else do we want to do? Can we give you a treaty? We could guarantee your independence? Sure, there you go. That should help us. We got expensive paper now. Well, that's no good. We need to build more paper mills then. Is that because wood's expensive or is it because paper's expensive? Show me the goods. Looks like it's just because paper's expensive because we built like government administration. Fair enough. If you get a really big government, you often end up with a really big paper industry. Let's definitely build this in Rio. So the thing is, because all of these French people are coming to Rio and the surrounding states, we're going to end up with a lot of people available to hire. So this makes a lot of sense. We can add that probably before everything else, I think. Maybe after the glassworks. Oh, we got something going on here. The petty bourgeoisie are petitioning the government. Bernardo, the ever-efficacious leader of the petty bourgeoisie, has approached the government with a plan to enact dedicated police force. So they want us to do this, and until we do it, they'll give us... Oh, for the next 5 years. Until we do it, we'll get less reduced enactment time, which is good. Do we want to do this? I don't know. We could offer census suffrage instead. Let's have a look at these laws. So, in both of these cases, the landowners don't like it, I think. So, if we don't accept, then we'll lose legitimacy and we'll lose approval. But they have plenty of approval, so I don't really care about that. What about our legitimacy? We're at 100 legitimacy at the moment. Why is that? It's because electoral confidence is high. We've got the head of state and government. We've got a lot of government clout in the government now. And we've got almost all the votes. I think we just reject the petition then. Go away. And if we keep doing that, they're going to get more and more pissed, but probably not going to happen too much. An event in Holland. A newspaper banned under Brazilian law has started being printed again under the permissive laws of the Netherlands and smuggled across the border. Oh, right, because it's because they're up here in Dutch Guyana. So we can look the other way, and then we get a big penalty to approval. Or we can crack down and decrease relations with the Netherlands. Oh! I should have read this one first. We could have taken a petition from those guys and accepted this. And we'd have kept above +3. Because the landowners are in here. Oh, whatever. I don't care about you, Netherlands. Go away. Oh, look at that population curve going up now. That's good. And the good thing is, as well, a lot of the French people coming here have a higher literacy rate than what we have. So that's helping with our average education as well. And this is still helping with our tech spread. You can see this number is going up quite a bit now. That's good. Looks like the armed forces are influential now because the landowners have been dropping off. Are they? They're giving us some bonuses. They're giving us some bonus to authority. Okay. Oh, right. Election season again. Right. So, we can actually make sure that electoral clientelism is actually removed from wealth voting by not manipulating the vote. If we have a look... the Liberal Party currently have a lot of momentum. So we probably don't actually need to give them the extra momentum. But they probably want it, right? I think we still just want to do this. I think that's fine. Electoral confidence is 5. But again, the effect of this is diminished, so I don't care. We'll stop doing that in like 20 years, I think. Right, so you're finishing off the glassworks. So we haven't built the lead mine yet. Let's see. Oh, it's 1842. What are we going to do in 1842? Paraguay? Well, the issue is, so our power block's cohesion is dropping a lot. So we're losing leverage generation and we're losing mandate progress. We're not losing it, we're just gaining it less efficiently. It's not gonna get below 20. Sub 20 is the region where it starts to get really annoying. If we make Paraguay join, are they gonna be unhappy with us? I think they probably are. So maybe... Do I just conquer Paraguay and give it to Argentina? Does that make sense? Actually, you know what? Why don't we just conquer Paraguay and release them again? I mean, let's have a look at the country as well, right? Platinum, Guarani. In terms of land, there's a lot of land here. Some iron. I don't know. I feel like we could just give it to Argentina. Yeah, let's just do that. So, not this. Let us... So you could do Conquer State. Oh, we gotta wait until August 13th. Okay, we'll do that. So if we do Conquer State, then that will be 10.5 infamy, and it will reduce relations with 5 countries. It'd be really helpful if we could hover over that, but we can't. But if we do Annex Country, it gives us 10.5 infamy as well. Interesting. Okay. We could take a treaty port in Peru. I don't think I want to do that. Transfer subject. Oh, that's right. We could declare wars to transfer subjects. That would be pretty good, wouldn't it? But it depends who we're fighting. I think we should just annex. Paraguay. So this lowers relationships with these countries, but it doesn't reduce it with Argentina. So I think that actually makes sense. Yeah, we'll just do this. I don't think anyone's going to join in on the side of Paraguay. So we'll annex them, and then we'll give the land to Argentina, because it's in the La Plata region. And it's that sort of leaning, I guess. Hold on, what's going on here? Yeah, mobilize, deploy to front, mobilize, deploy to front. And then, yeah, you're not going to have a very good time. You're uncertain. I think you should probably become more certain. What we got up here? A clause is coming to town. The intelligentsia and Catholic Church are jockeying for minor but favoring concessions regarding public schools. Supporters of Francisco Sabino are calling for a resolution without concessions. So just as a reminder, this guy's the head of the intelligentsia. So we can let them bicker and get intelligentsia attraction and success chance, or we can make it a 50-50 on who gets the approval. Let's just keep attracting the intelligentsia. We do want them to become powerful. That's a lot of prestige. I think that's fine. Everyone who's becoming more powerful is taking away influence from the landowners, which is what we want. I mean, to be fair, it's not like Paraguay are just going to accept our diplomatic play anyways. We can invite Chile. Good. Wait. Invite countries. Chile. They would not accept. Because we have low cohesion and they're cautious. Okay. They don't care about obligations. See, this is the thing. Even though we have the leverage over them, they don't want to do it. It's fair enough. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's leave them alone for now. We're still improving relations with them, aren't we? We did. I don't think there's any point in doing investments rights. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it until we stop improving relations with them. A small conspiracy. A small group of people have been caught investigating a slave revolt or instigating a slave revolt in Amazonas. However, local slaveholders believe this to be signs of a much wider-reaching conspiracy and demand subjects punished. So we could either add mortality of slaves for 5 years and become more radical, or we piss off the landowners. So if we piss off the landowners, we're going to lose our migration attraction bonus, which we really don't want. We want to keep these guys happy. And I believe we can still do that, and that's quite important that we keep trying to do that. Oh, wait, this is the plus... Oh, this just needs to be about +3. No, that's fine. We can do this. Yeah. It crashed the game! No! The event crashed the game! That's weird. The landowners were not happy. That music was very funny. Yeah, just the sudden cutoff. Damn! Well, the game auto-saves every month, so that's not the end of the world. But, yeah, I guess, fish time? Fish time? Snail time, we got a snail. In the tank. Hope we're doing well at Chicken Boutier. Yes, we've been adding a lot of countries to our power block. It's been going pretty well. We can just click resume. That's fine. Shall I load up some music in the meantime? Let's put some music on in the meantime, because it's a bit quiet. Not this one. There we go. There's some fish. They're coming in. They're looking a little bit laggy, because we're loading the game, but that's fine. Yes. Fish are doing well. I think I need to clean the tank this weekend, but it's not too bad. I'm still seeing lots of little hillstream loaches around as well. I think they are still breeding, but they're breeding much less than the other they were that one time. Because we had 4 that originally just bred everywhere, and then we had like 40. And the thing is, I never see any dead hillstream loaches. So I'm pretty sure they're all still in the tank. But I remember seeing more of them at one point. But they're also very good at hiding, so I don't know. Maybe they're just hiding. In any case, I'm not really that concerned. I think I'm doing fine. We're playing Fallout New Vegas. Nice, nice. That's the one problem with this game, is it takes a while to load. I'm really surprised that crashed. Do you reckon we'll get the event again if it comes back? Also, in case you guys care, this is what the loading screen for Victoria 3 looks like. This is like the cover art. I like it. I love the artwork they do for this game. We got Snail number 2 joining in with Snail number 1. Yeah, I think this Brazil stuff's going well. We've already received 2 mass migrations. I think you generally just receive a lot of mass migrations as Brazil, because you tolerate a lot of cultures, you have a lot of available jobs, and you have a lot of resources available. So, makes sense. I think we've done a lot diplomatically today, and we just need to continue developing our industry. Come on, game. We got a curious barb. I do like how the barbs look. It's funny though, because I got 6 gold barbs, and 5 of them had the sort of blackish patterns as well, like this one. But one of them doesn't have any black patterns on it. But it is still clearly a gold barb. So I'm wondering whether that's like a mutation or just a different variant or something. Who knows? And then the ones with the red features are the Odessa barbs. Oh, Whiskers is coming over. There you go. Whiskers is in the background. Okay, there we go. Game's loading now. Let's see. I don't think it's saved too long ago. I think we should be fine. Yeah. Right, okay, it's saved September 1st, that's fine. We're still declaring war on Paraguay. Oh yeah, here's the event right here. Okay. If I click this again, is it going to crash again? Oh, hold on. There we go. That's the right actual place. Let's click it again. If it crashes again... Wait, what? If I press D, it switches to display? That's very weird. I'm like actually in the game window. Okay, now it is. I wasn't actually in the game window. Okay. If we click this again, will it crash again? No. Good. Well, there we go. That was a weird one. This game doesn't crash very often. So that was mildly surprising. Right. We built the glass place. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So, obviously at the moment, there's not a lot of demand for glass. Nobody really needs it yet. I mean, some of the population are using it for, like, house maintenance, I guess. But let's go to... Let's go to our urban centers. And we'll put market squares here. And then this is going to increase the available services as well. Which will help everyone. Yeah, urban centers get built depending on the level of urbanization of your states. So how many buildings you have of like advanced industries and things. And then they provide services. So if we look in Sao Paulo, we're turning some coal, some glass, and some wood into services and transportation. And we're getting the price of services down. But transportation is still going to be very expensive. At least until we get railways. And then, yeah, and then you have other things as well, like you have the manor houses. So these are owned by, got additional clergy oversight. We've got aristocrats and clergymen owning different buildings. Political movement disbanded. The Sulista National Movement. Okay, fair enough. Pen and paper. Oh, it's stalled on 8%. That's funny. The enactment of public schools has come to a halt due to some public protests. Many of the families that lack the purchasing power to meet the expenses that buying new school supplies imply, thus preventing their children from scholarization. So we can make it so that we add provided school supplies, which makes the institution more expensive. And we get minus 15% bureaucracy during the enactment. Or we get unfunded school supplies, which reduces the cost, but also reduces dependents' income, which I don't think we want. Because our population here, we have our working population and we have our dependents' population. So this is, at this point in the game, it's women and children. And they also buy goods for their needs. So if we reduce their income, then they're not going to be able to get the stuff that they need. So how big is this bureaucracy penalty? So that would be minus 100 during the enactment. But we get this and we get this long-term cost as well. But this is a long-term cost to the population. We have to pick. Damn. Okay. I guess we'll pick this one. But that means that we're going to have to add some more government administrations because now we're in a deficit and we're going to lose some tax revenue. So let's do that. 2 will do. Which ones do we want to do it in? I think we just want to keep adding them to Rio because we've got a lot of people here. We've got a lot of infrastructure here. As more and more people migrate to Rio, we're going to want to keep giving them more jobs. But let's do that once we built the paper mill, because we're going to need the paper as well. In fact, just do that. Okay. So we've got a shortage of 6 glass at the moment. We are importing some glass at the moment while the glass works gets up to speed, which is fine. Yeah. And we also actually, if we go here, so we have the option of setting this to leaded glass. So once we build the lead mine, we can make a lot more glass, and we can substitute some of the wood out, which will help reduce our costs as well. So let's put the lead mine up here. In fact, actually, you know what? Let's just do the lead mine now. Before I forget. We can invite... Oh, yeah, we can invite Chile. We know we can invite Chile, but they're not going to accept. We need to improve our cohesion again. So we need to make Argentina like us. This is very interesting. I didn't think having a Power Bloc member that didn't like us was going to have such a big impact. I mean, this is still not bad, but we really need to get them on side. Also, my share of the total prestige of the block is smaller now that the block is larger, so we have less positive cohesion in general. So even if we do get Argentina on side, our max cohesion is going to be somewhere around 65 at the moment, with the size of this power block. That's very interesting. Well, we probably don't want to grow it that much more then. What's going on here? Yeah, nothing's going on. We're just going to catch Paraguay. If we give Paraguay to Argentina, they should like us more as well, right? Makes sense. Speed up just a tad. Then, yeah, war's broken out, that's fine. I don't think this is going to be a particularly impactful war. And then, now that we built the lead mine, let's switch you over to... In fact, let's switch everything over to leaded glass. Also, we don't need all of this to be glass. We can actually use some dyes to turn some of that into porcelain. And wealthy people like to use porcelain. I almost just said wealthy dupes like to eat porcelain. That's not very accurate. But yes, we don't need that much glass for what we're doing, so this, I think, is generally a good policy, and that will attract some more people here as well. So we've got a bit of a lead shortage at the moment, but that's going to correct itself pretty quickly, so I'm not too worried about that. And I'm pretty sure this is just going to be one and done, right? Like, Paraguay can't fight us. Yeah. No, nothing's happening. Yeah. that was like the shortest war in history. That's fine. Right, so if we go to draft a treaty, I actually want to transfer a state to you. So you want Paraguay. There you go. You can have Paraguay. Now, give me a treaty port. No. Is there anything else I want? I could ask them for an obligation. Yeah. And then we can cash that in, maybe? Yeah, that sounds good. There you go. You could have Paraguay. Flippy flippy. You're still at the same level of happiness as me. Oh, whatever. I did want Paraguay there. It's fine. Wait! The British radical revolt now leads the British Empire. Great Britain have left the power bloc and have been replaced by the British radical revolt. No way! The anti-British association has disbanded because the following conditions are no longer true. Yeah, Great Britain is gone. We have the British Republic now. Fantastic. So we lost that useless lobby that wasn't doing anything. Oh, let's see what's going on here. Who's in charge? We've got Chancellor Thomas Barnes. Now the rank 1 great power. Fantastic. Let's have a look at your laws. So yeah, you're a parliamentary republic, universal suffrage. Yeah. Nothing super interesting over here. That's hilarious. Yeah, so if we go to Legend now, it's literally the British Republic. And they've kept the Raj, they've kept everything. Damn. Well, that's very interesting, isn't it? What we got over here? Just as the public schools law looked ready to topple, the intelligentsia found itself rallying with the assistance of Francisco Sabino. It now has the support it needs to pass without compromise. Good. So we can get more intelligentsia attraction. We can get more loyalists. That's good. Or we can get more intelligentsia and petty bourgeoisie attraction and approval. Do we want the loyalists? This is 1% of Brazil becomes loyalists, so that's 60,000. It's not bad. We're still trying to get the petty bourgeoisie up to 20% though, so I think I am going to keep doing this. We already have a good amount of loyalists. Yeah, let's keep doing that because it keeps subtracting from the landowners. But we still... Oh look, the Catholic Church have overtaken the landowners now as the main interest group. Well, they're flip-flopping, I guess. We still want to keep the landowners above 20% if we can. Wait, why have we got such an iron shortage now? What's going on? What? Oh, it's because... Wait, Cordoba? Where's Cordoba? Oh, it's because Argentina is switching to iron construction sectors. Oh, that's really interesting. That's very interesting. Can you can I tell you to stop? We don't have that much iron. Well, I mean, we'll build some more. I mean, I guess you're building it here, aren't you? You'll hire more people in your iron mines. I will build another iron mine in this state. How's that? Are we paying for Argentina's construction? No. So, oh, I see. So it's making iron expensive, but it's giving us a shortage on our industry, but it's not actually affecting our construction prices. Okay. Well, I'll keep that lower down on the list then. Actually, maybe we move that up here. Russia have declared us a rival. Okay. You know what? Let's declare Russia a rival then. There you go. That'll give us more influence. The more rivalries you have, the more influence you have as well. So we can use that to do things. Yeah. Let's improve relations with the British Republic then, because they're a completely new nation, right? That makes sense. Why is Uruguay antagonistic to me? Is it because we attacked Paraguay? Let's improve relations with them as well. I think that makes sense. How are you looking, Chile? Yeah, you're still not doing it. Okay, the Liberals are in again. That makes sense. I don't think we want to reform our government. I think everyone's pretty happy with this. We don't have any other good options anyways. We could add the industrialists to the government at the cost of some legitimacy. Because I don't believe they're really in a party. Would we want to do that? That would make them more powerful. But they hate us at the moment, so we probably don't want to do that. So let's leave them alone. For now. Actually, you know what I really should be doing? Don't worry about... If we're doing improved relations, don't worry about Britain. Worry about France. Because we still want the Brazilian-French fellowship to do well. Yeah. Okay, so debt is still increasing. The credit pool is increasing, not as quickly as we'd like. Still building more gold mines. What is the private construction queue looking like these days? It is just gold mines, okay. Yeah, we're building a lot of stuff in Argentina now. I mean, I guess it's fine. Interesting. Okay, so We're also at the point where we could declare war on Bolivia and New Granada soon. The main issue is our power block. So our power block is at minimum cohesion now. So this isn't going to keep decreasing. We would like to increase it again, because it's going to be difficult to get Chile to join us with low cohesion like this. Do we just need to keep increasing our prestige again to increase cohesion? The answer is yes. So I guess, because we're running a power block, we've actually got people in the power block. We do actually really care about prestige. Which means we should make the intelligentsia powerful, which we are doing. Well, that's fair enough. Yeah, we got expensive paper, iron, and tools now. Yeah, let's just focus on industrializing for a bit, then. We are doing. I could speed up a little bit if I want. That's probably fine. Our infamy is still coming down as well, so let's let our infamy come down a bit before we get up to any more wars. Maybe we go to the end of the year and then decide what to do. We need to build some of this stuff anyways. We're still getting the migration. Yeah, we are still getting the migration. It continues until April 1st. I'm so happy we began these migrations. I think this probably means... Actually, you know what I think this means? I think when this is done, I'm going to put the migration decree on Rio. Because this seems to be attracting people. But yeah, look at this. That's like 40,000 people today. Fantastic. And that will go away next week, I imagine. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at... So we got mass migration attraction. So Brazil as a country has a lot. Sao Paulo seems to have the highest. That's interesting. So... yeah. Sao Paulo has a migration attraction of 46.4 because standard of living is really high. And there's available employment. And then Rio has less. Why does Rio have less? Oh, it's unused arable land employment. Oh, that's what's causing it. Is that because... I think that's because we have a load of plantations that had slaves on them. Or that still have slaves on them. But we're not actually using that much sugar anymore. So there's vacant jobs. Right, okay. Well, we want to keep having these mass migrations. For sure. And we could do the same with Bahia.
Thanks for the follow.
Thank you very much for the follow, Felix Dunerider. Enjoy your fishy and froggy emotes. Whiskers sends their regards. Hope you're enjoying Brazil. I think it's going pretty well. Do we want to do this? I mean, let's see. What's the actual literacy here? Does it say? Let me have a look. Where would it say the literacy of the state? Oh, here. 36.7. So it's higher than average. Because we're gonna... If we're attracting migrants here, I think this actually makes sense to put the Greener Grass campaign on here instead. But it would be one of Sao Paulo or Bahia because of the available jobs at the moment. Well, let's actually have a look at Sao Paulo instead. Sao Paulo has similar literacy. Yeah. Okay, let's do an experiment. Let's remove it from Sao Paulo, and let's put the greener grass campaign here. So now, if we roll it for another week, let's see what happens. So, if we go here now, if we have a look at migration attraction, so now you have 88.4 because you've got the greener grass campaign giving plus 20 and plus 25%. Do I play this game often? So, I've been playing a lot of stream recently. Our usual game that we play on this channel is Oxygen Not Included. And we did a little bit of Surviving Mars, where we also played Brazil. But I'm really enjoying this game, and I was enjoying it so much I thought I'm going to start doing it on stream. We're going to do Brazil here. We're going to see how we do. We're going to see how people like it. Because I'm really enjoying this game. It very much scratches the same itch for complexity that I get from Oxygen Not Included. Oh, you love it too, but you really need advice? That's fair. That's fair. We're pretty close to wrapping up, so if you have any specific questions, let me know, and I can provide some answers. But, yeah, this decree seems really strong. Because I think what you want is you want one state that has a really high migration attraction, and then that should attract mass migrations from other countries. And we've already had 2. But the Brazilian mass migration attraction is based on the average migration attraction of the eligible states. Countries with less than 4 eligible states suffer an additional penalty. Okay. So, I think what that's doing is it's making it probably not that much more likely that we're getting a mass migration, but it means if we are getting it, it's going to be here. Okay. Well, let's leave it like that for now, then. Taxing the rich to the point of gold reserves. Okay, so we're in a lot of debt. The actual point of gold reserves is there is no point. They don't do anything sitting in your account. You want to spend them. You want to be as close to zero as possible so that that money is going into your country's economy and going into the hands of your people through buildings. And then being reinvested into your investment pools so that private stuff is being built by your population. Because we're a great power, we have access to very cheap debt. And because we have the petty bourgeoisie at high approval, and we're trying to get them powerful, we have even less interest rate. How do you refill them? Just by taxing people. So your balance, if you get your balance positive, then you'll start paying off your debt, and you'll end up with gold reserves. And you'll end up refilling them, and that will start paying off your debt. To actually do that, you've got a few options. You can reduce your government wages, you can reduce your military wages. These will have a negative impact on things like prestige and government and interest group approval. So you kind of want to leave that alone if you're worried about that. You can lower taxes, you can lower and raise taxes as well. If you raise taxes, people will expect higher standards of living, so you might get more radicals, and it will lower your legitimacy. But this could give you a lot of extra income to refill your gold reserves. Because generally what I would say is if you're a small country, you want to not get into debt because it's very expensive for the interest. But if you're a large country, you do want to get into debt because the interest is relatively cheap compared to your other expenses. You minimize government wages and privatize everything. So the thing is, if you privatize all of your buildings, we haven't done that yet because we haven't got any companies, but if you privatize them, then you're not getting the dividends from those buildings. Your population is. So you do probably want some of your buildings to be nationalized, so you're getting some of that as national revenue, and you're paying off your debt. What I tend to do is I tend to privatize buildings if they're going to companies and they're going to get the throughput bonus and all that stuff. And I don't tend to do it otherwise, but I'm not sure whether that's the best approach or not. You maxed out taxes and luxury taxes. Oh, are you still losing money and you've got like max taxes and you can't reduce your income? How big is your military? How big is your government size? Have you got positive bureaucracy? Because if you have got extra bureaucracy, you can switch some of your states away from filing cabinets and lose that bureaucracy and save some money on paper, but that's a pretty last-ditch effort. What you could do is you could set up a goods transfer treaty with another country. Like, I mean, say for instance we were going to go trade with, I don't know, like France. If we open up a treaty here, we could do a goods transfer. And we can have a look and we can see which goods that we have a surplus of in orange. And they have a deficit in blue. So if we look at France and we look for large numbers, looks like there aren't really any good trades we could do them, but hypothetically... Oh, okay, so this is the opposite. We have a big deficit of furniture, and they have a large surplus of furniture. So, if you wanted to make some money doing that, you could sell them your furniture, and then... You could sell them your furniture, and then you would benefit from that, because you've got the surplus, and then they... Does that actually help you, though? You could do that in exchange for another goods transfer that would give you more money. Yeah, you can do direct deals with countries. We've done this a lot. What we did do a while ago, not on stream, but what we did do is we were playing as Dynam, and we industrialized pretty well. Yeah, you can set up fixed trades. I believe you can set up fixed trades even if you... I'm not sure you could do it if you have isolationism, but you don't need trade centers to do them. But you do require convoys to do them if they're overseas. But what we did is we were Dynam and we did some fixed trades with China. We had a land border and they had canton systems, so we could do that. And that made us a lot of money because they were willing to pay a lot for the goods we were transferring them. So that went pretty well.
Thanks for the raid.
Shen! Here are some supplies for the front lines. Hello, Dalai Drama. Hello, Erg800. Hello, Shen. I thought you might notice that we were playing Victoria. Hello, Lacrid's Pipe. Hello, Felix Dune Rider. Hello, Cannibal. Hello, This Old Fox. Yes, we're playing Victoria 3. Shen hasn't completely convinced me away from playing Victoria 3. Hello, Aperi Obo. We're playing as Brazil. So... I'll put it on speed 3 for now. We're 1843. We've reclaimed our natural borders. Thank you very much for follow Suction Entrapment. We are forming a power block. We've got the Top Hat Empire, and we've got Pedro II, who's very young, but he's grown into a reasonably normal-looking man, so that's good. And we're trying to collect all the South American countries in our power block. The issue is, we added Argentina forcefully as a vassal with the war, and Argentina don't like us. So we're trying to make them like us again to increase our cohesion. That decreased. But that's fine. I just want to join the Top Hat Empire. You get a top hat, and you put it on your head. Yeah. Nah, you just got to do what Whiskers does. Yeah, there you go. There's the top hats. So this is going well. We've reclaimed our borders. We are sorting out slavery. We've done a lot of good laws. We've got religious schools. We've got we're actually switching to public schools at the moment. We've got charity hospitals. We switched from the slave trade to legacy slavery because we're trying to get the landowners less influential in the government, and that is working. We've got the Catholic Church up here, so we've got the birth rate bonus. We've been getting a lot of migration from... been getting a lot of mass migrations from Europe. We had something really funny happen. The British had a radical revolt, so Great Britain is now the British Republic, and they're led by... oh, in this case, they've got Chancellor Benjamin Agar Ellis. Look at that beard. That's a beard. Damn. So, yeah, we've got the British Republic in the game. That's probably the most interesting thing that's happened outside of what we're doing. And, yeah, we've got Argentina as a vassal. So they're colonizing all of this land. So that's good, I think. And our population's grown a lot because we just had a big influx of French people. If we actually look at our... If we have a look at our population now... If we go to cultures... We actually have... The 4th largest culture in our country now is French. Because of one mass migration event. We had 0 French people here apart from a general a while ago. This game is a lot more complicated compared to like Crusader Kings 3. I do like it. Yeah, I think it's the right balance. I really enjoyed watching Shen playing EU5, but I'm gonna be honest, it looks too complicated for me. I think I would have to play it as my main game for it to actually make sense to me. Britain properly a communist? Not yet, but they're getting there. I mean, if we have a look, because this is somewhat interesting at least. They're a democratic republic. They're a parliamentary republic. Yeah, they're a parliamentary republic. They've got universal suffrage. But yeah, pretty interesting. Vicky 2 AI went pretty wild too. The last game I played, Britain took Tibet. That was less interesting, but still somewhat interesting. But yeah, we're trying to get our construction industry online. We're trying to get our bureaucracy back because we just had an event that gave us a big penalty. So we're just building some government administrations. We're building some more gold mines in Argentina. So that's nice. But yeah, we set up a room for Victoria 3 on the Discord. So if you have anything interesting you want to show me on there, feel free to do so, because I love seeing weird shit happen in this game. It's great. So we're at war a lot, and at the moment we're just kind of industrializing and sitting on butt. I'm trying to attract more mass migrations. That's what we want to do. Did Britain take Tibet in real history? Oh god. Don't ask me that. I don't think so. I really don't think so. So, this guy's in a scandal. We can force him to step down, or we can make him popular. No, we can make him less popular. Is he doing anything specific for us? Let's have a look. So, you're a reformer. So, you are endorsing right to associate, which we passed. You're endorsing property to women, which we were thinking of passing. You know what? I'm just going to force him to step down. Let's see what happens. Okay, so they had some... Oh, hold on. Oh, that was good timing. We just got public schools. So the game does have randomness in it? Yes, things can get very ahistorical very quickly, if I'm going to be honest. But that's fine. So now, instead of getting Catholic strength from this institution, we're getting institution fervor. So hopefully this is going to help us with our integrating Brazilian cultures quest. And we get more assimilation, and we get more education access. So that's good. Don't forget to invade Portugal. Yeah, maybe we'll do that at some point. I've got to admit, what I'm kind of thinking of doing, something in Asia. I was kind of hoping that India was going to break apart a bit, and then we were going to be able to start taking a bit of India. Protestant Brazil. Oh no, we're staying Catholic for now. I want this birth rate. I want our population to go up. It seemed like at first we were mostly constrained by population, but if you'll actually look at this, so you can see from this graph that our population has increased more because of the French mass migration event than from all of our reconquests. So, I mean, that's kind of telling me that sitting on butt is a good plan. And making our country appealing for people to move to. The only loose ends, so Chile, if we have a look at our power block again, we can invite Chile to our power block, but they don't want to accept because we haven't got enough cohesion, and they're still cautious towards us because of our wars. So I think we do just want to not do more wars. But these guys are antagonistic, so I'm not sure I'm going to convince them. Uruguay's also in our power block. We've got Peru, we've got Ecuador, we've got Venezuela. Oh, trade routes. So when you build a trade center, do you decide which products you want to be bought and sold? No. You used to have to do that, but they've automated it now. So your population decides, which I'm really glad about. Because this was way too much to micromanage when this game came out. And to be honest, the fact that they automated this is the reason that I ended up picking up the game. Because I was like, finally, this looks like I can actually approach it. But you can still approach other countries, and you can do manual goods transfer treaties as well. So let's go to Mexico, say. In this case, we want to find something we've got a large surplus of, so I don't know. Maybe actually, okay, so we've got a deficit on fabric, and they've got a surplus on fabric. So maybe we say to Mexico, hey, sell us some of your fabric and we'll pay for it. And you can do stuff like that, if you want. Do you need a treaty with them? You need a treaty to get, like, the specific fixed trade treaty, where it's a fixed amount every week. And that lasts for, like, 5 years. Otherwise, the market handles stuff and it updates every week. Like, we're producing a lot of excess coffee, so we're exporting that. And we need a lot of fabric for our construction industry, I think. Yeah, mostly our construction industry, so we're importing that. We were making more because we had slaves in violent treatment in our plantations, but we got rid of all of that. We've still got the slaves, but they're being treated normally now. So we're kind of... That caused our GDP to dip a little bit, so we're kind of trying to pick up from there. Also, the head of the landowners just retired, 0 plus 3. Let's try and get some more... Okay, so the interest groups are pretty happy. We just did the schools law. Let's see what we can do now. So... Slavery ban. That's the one that people eventually want. The problem is, this is going to cause the landowners to start revolting. 73% radicalism on that movement is pretty harsh. Don't forget to overproduce weapons, motors, and steel to control the enemies. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about Brazil is... Brazil has some interesting things going on. But one of the more interesting things is... They have this modifier here that gives us plus 25% building hardwood output. And we can get prestige hardwood. We can get rosewood. So... We can make stuff very efficiently with hardwood. And we're probably going to want to make, like, luxury furniture and things long term, I think. I think we can do a lot of good trade that way. We also have a lot of good modifiers towards sugar plantations, towards ranches. There's a few more good modifiers down here. It's pretty good. Have you heard of Plutocracy? It's an indie business simulator set in this time period. No, I haven't. Feel free to post about it on the other games Discord if you think I'd like it. Dependency trade mechanic, yeah. It can be pretty funny when you set up a massive goods trade treaty and your entire industry settles around it because of the private construction, and then the treaty doesn't get renewed and they won't let you renew it, and then you're like, oh no! Right, laws. I want to pass another law. Can we still do property women, or is it too late for this? Well, it's not too late for it, it's just going to piss off people we don't want to piss off at the moment. I want to keep the landowners on side so we get more migration at the moment. We could go for homesteading. The landowners don't like a lot of these laws, I'm going to be honest. They don't want dedicated police force either, because they get a benefit from the local police force. So that's not ideal. Elected bureaucrats, they also don't like this. If you like this, then you might like Plutocracy, especially if you want a bit of roleplay, but it's an indie dev, yeah. I don't mind indie games at all. I play a lot of indie games. Well, actually, I don't know. Does Clay count as indie with Oxygen not included? That's the main game we play. We need to find a law that the landowners aren't not supporting. Is there any that we could do that would benefit us? No. Okay. This is the problem we typically find with the landowners. We could do state religion. I don't think we want to do this, though. I think we want acceptance to be high for everyone. If we do this, this will piss off the church. I mean, maybe birth rate isn't that important. What about right of assembly? You guys don't want this either. Ugh. Well, I can't just not do laws because we're trying to get this 20% migration attraction, can we? Have I played EU5? No, I haven't. The thing about Paradox games is I like them, but my wallet doesn't like them, and I don't play them enough to justify buying a lot of them. So I decided Victoria 3 is the one I'm going to get, because I enjoyed watching Shen play it a lot, and it vibes with my jam. I like the time period, I like the economic focus. I played a lot of EU4. I played 1,000 hours of EU4, and I really enjoyed that game. I really like how the economic system looks at EU5 as well, but overall the game just looks way more complicated. I think I would get too sucked in to that game, I think. I don't know. Well, I don't really want to just leave the laws not doing anything. What about free trade? You don't want free trade either. We could switch to interventionalism. Is there a point in doing this? Help the capitalists out? The landowners don't want this either. Every single law that's here, the landowners don't want to change. Not to worry, E5 has a lot of automation. Really? We play plutocracy casually, it's not nearly as complex. Yeah, there's not a single law here that the landowners like. Is there another way to get them on side? Hold on, we got -1 from a leader? We got -1 because you're imposing and you're in opposition. That's funny. Right. I'll tell you what. Let's wait until we get the next mass migration, and then we'll pass a law and piss them off. That seems like a good idea, right? Or do we just piss them off in advance? What do you guys think? Because getting the extra population is so good. I really want to do that if we can. Also, I should definitely actually have a look at these texts and see if there's text that's going to help us with migration specifically. I mean, maybe. I'm not so sure. Let's think about that later. We do want to unlock a company. I'm not sure we're going to decide what company to go with today. I feel like our industry isn't overly developed yet. We need to have a think about what we want to do. Brazil has a lot of unique flavored companies as well. So we've got a lot to consider on that front. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Still want anything, Argentina? Not really. I am just more than anything glad that I managed to set the game settings properly so that it's not lagging out on my computer, because it really was a while ago. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Do we have access to any more agitators? We do. Okay. Yeah, so we can add another agitator. We got some more guys for the liberal movement. There's a lot of them from the intelligentsia. We got Charles Dickens. We can invite Charles Dickens to Brazil. That's hilarious. Do we want Charles Dickens? Charles Chickens? So you get extra pop attraction, extra approval. We've got a royalist agitator. Do we want a royalist agitator? It's kind of funny. What does the royalist movement want? Well, obviously they want the king. There's not really a specific need to do this. Is there anyone else interesting in here? Friedrich von Württemberg? Nah, I don't think so. John Frost? The trade unions? He's loved? Maybe. He's with the trade unions. We are trying to get the trade unions on board. That would attract more people to the trade unions, I imagine. I'm going to invite Charles Dickens. I think that's going to be funny. There you go. Charles Dickens, welcome to Brazil. We're going to get some events for Charles Dickens now. Okay, let's just let the game run a little bit. Let's get some more buildings done. Okay, so we've got the bureaucracy now. That's good. Do we want any more institutions? Do we want to add more to the law enforcement? No, because we don't want more landowner political strength at the moment, I don't think. Still got expensive iron, we've still got expensive paper, we've still got expensive tools. So, yeah, build the iron mines, build the tooling workshops. Actually, if we're... Do we still need to fill up our paper mills? Yeah, actually, you're practically full. So, if paper is still expensive... Yeah, paper's still expensive. Oh, we're exporting paper? Yeah, okay. Well, everyone needs paper. This is usually what happens. You need it, but you're exporting it because everyone else needs it too. There's so many people in Rio to hire. We should just keep building in Rio. Because of the mass migration. Like, literally, if we go in the population overlay now... Well, it's not very clear because Brazil's population is not very dense. But, like... It's shifted a lot towards the capital. Look how many loyalists we've got now. This is really good. Just a load of approval across the bat. People are getting it from increases of standard of living, high legitimacy. That's good. That will help the landowners. But I don't think we're going to get enough loyalists that will get the landowners on side. Maybe we will. That could be a plan. We just try and increase everyone's standard of living. And the good thing is, because we switched a load of those slaves off of violent practices, we have increased our standard of living a little bit now. So that's good. We got here a big heat wave, but low intensity. Okay. This bar is still going up. So, has anyone played Brazil? And if so, have you ever let this bar get to 100% and trigger the event here? When you run out of gold reserve, you start asking for loans? Yes. So we're spending money, we're getting into debt. However, because we're a great power, and because we have the petty bourgeoisie powerful, or we're getting them to powerful, and their high approval, our interest rate is very low. Wait, what's going on? Oh, you have a native uprising in La Plata. That's funny. Okay, well, can you deal with that? I think you could deal with that. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I'm happy to send my army down here to help you, because I did just crush your army. But yeah, debt is very cheap to us, so we've gotten into quite a lot of debt building stuff. That's fine. Our interest is low. It's comparable to some of these other payments we're doing, even though we're 2 million in debt. And we're hoping to industrialize, increase our gross domestic product to the point where our available cash reserves in our buildings, which are the maximum of our credit limit, outstrip the rate at which we're acquiring credit. And then it doesn't matter that we're in debt, because we're growing faster than the debt is. But generally, as a small country, you don't want to get into debt, because interest is usually a lot more expensive than this. It's like we're building a wheat farm in Argentina. Wow, we're really building a lot of stuff in Argentina, aren't we? I guess we're just trying to help them out. That's fine. To be honest, I'm more interested in South America in general doing well at this point than just Brazil. We want the power block to grow after all. Looks like our cohesion is going back up because Argentina are coming around to us more. Especially now that we're building more stuff in their territory, I think, as well. We'll get to add a proposal in 3 years. High petty bourgeoisie approval rating equals low interest rates. So if you reform and include them in your government, you get even lower rates. Yeah, so we have them. We have them in our government at the moment. So their clout is going up. If their clout gets above 20%, then this becomes twice as strong. And we get minus 10% because of them at the moment. That will be minus 20%. We get minus... hold on. Because we're a great power, we get minus 50% up here. And then we're getting a couple of minus 2% from technology as well. So that's what we're doing. One thing I've noticed is because Brazil is such a large country, area-wise, we end up getting a lot of climate events. But they tend to be low intensity. Also, we do still technically need to build more trade centers. We'll have a think about that. How is trade doing? Yeah, we're still importing a lot of fabric. That's telling me that we probably want to actually build some more cotton plantations as well. But realistically, what's actually happened here is the extra cotton we were getting from the violent practices on the slaves has been lost, and we're importing it instead. Mostly from Ecuador and the US, which is fine. Did I forget to do something over here? We got the food industry queued up. That's fine. No, I don't think we did forget to do something here. Do I want to put one luxury furniture bit in? I think furniture is still generally pretty expensive. But if we do one luxury, then we'll make luxury less expensive in the capital. I think that makes sense. Thank you for the follow, Findar. Enjoy your fishy froggy emotes. Hope you're having a good evening. Let's do luxury furniture in the capital. I think that makes sense. And then everywhere else could do regular furniture. And we'll probably build another furniture building. I think that's technically more profitable even if most people just want that. Chile has withdrawn from the Power Bloc Embassy. Chile don't want to join. What? Yeah, they don't want to join us. Boo hiss. Why not? What's the leverage situation over here again? Yeah, it's shrinking. Did we stop improving relations with you? Or are you just skeptical because of the various nefarious actions we've been taking? I guess it makes sense for you to be nervous when I have Argentina as a subject. Also, it is January 1844. This was when I said I was going to pause it and we were going to reconsider what to do. In terms of diplomacy and war and stuff, but we have done a decent amount today. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's get a thumbnail of the Power Bloc. I love the little texture we've got going on here. And then we got all the guys with the top hat empire. Yeah, I like that. Good. It makes me think I should get a top hat for when I'm playing this game. Also, I have some good news. We reached 2,500 subscribers on YouTube, so that was fantastic. Congratulations to everyone who's made that possible. That's really great. So, yeah. Good session today. We've learned a lot about power blocks that I didn't know about. And we've attracted a lot of people to our country. And we just need to decide what we're going to do with these landowners now, because they're pissing me off. But we'll save it. And we will come back to this tomorrow. So, stream, run. Actually, what did I save it as before? Yeah, there we go. I saved it here at the end of the last stream. I like to save it after the end of each stream. Oh, yeah, hold on. We got the YouTube, we got the Discord. There's some links. But, yeah, let's actually close it out. If you will. Come on, OBS. Do it. There we go. There's the fish. The fish have been happy tonight as well. I've been very happy. But thanks for hanging out. If you're still here from Shen's Raid, thank you very much for sticking around. I do appreciate it a lot. I really enjoy Victoria 3 a lot. I really enjoyed watching Shen play it as well. I have seen him getting frustrated with how it works. I kind of definitely agree with him that war is a bit weird and you can have some really annoying bugs happen that kind of really affect the game. Similar sort of complaints to EU5, I guess, as well. But I find it very relaxing to just chill out and do the economic management, and we've had a fair amount to do as Brazil anyways. Fish! Yes, you have access to the fish. You have fishy emotes if you follow. And then we have the custom whiskers suite as well, where you can get the top hat whiskers. Although I can't remember what the requirements of the top hat whiskers are. I think that might be a bit tier reward, maybe. But in any case, thank you very much for sticking around. Let's actually go raid someone tonight. Who is around? And does anyone play Victoria 3 on Twitch at the moment? I'm not so sure. Let's have a look. What I might do... What I might do is I might go send you over to... Yeah, I'm going to send you over to Legit City, who is a friend of the channel, who is currently playing Oxygen Not Included. That is our main game that we typically play, but we're kind of taking a bit of a break from at the moment. But if you do miss a stream of me play Victoria 3, you'll be able to find the VODs on YouTube, and we have lots of Oxygen Not Included playthroughs, build guides, tier lists, discussion videos on there as well. That's definitely our main jam. And to celebrate reaching 2,500 subscribers, I have got a special video planned, so we're gonna try and do that this weekend and get that out as well.
Thanks for the follow.
But yes, let's go raid to Legit City. Thank you very much for follow. No good way to say this. Enjoy your fishy froggy emotes. Oh, that's a really good bit with the pleco eating the plant. That's a good view. Oh, on that note, let's go do the raid. Yeah, special mystery video that I may have already told you about in advance, but you've probably already forgotten about. It's not the Lura plant video. Yes, take care everyone, and I'll see you soon. Oh, one more thing. I stream weekday evenings between 7:30 and 10:30 British time, generally. Which weekdays? Depends a lot on what's going on with work and other things. So the best way to know for sure is to join the Discord, and people get notifications when I go live. Oh, that poor snail is getting all jostled about as well. Gotta admit, I'm kind of enjoying just watching the pleco and the snail at the moment. We don't really get the pleco in view like this. Oh, and you can see Whiskers in the back. There's the platy as well. Unreliable. She's got a bit of a tumor, bless her, but she's right. Anyways, Oxygen Not Included. Bye for now.